800 years ago, the opening of 3,000 spatial gates led to the fall of humanity under the onslaught of monsters. Giant creatures destroyed cities, and stealthy predators disguised as humans fed on their blood. The 25-year-old loser was dying, crushed by a monster. 12 cards appeared in front of him. Choosing the lowest black card promised to change fate. The rebirth took place in a new world, a paradise of monsters. The broken phone pulled him inside, and the game system declared him an official player. After playing for half a year and synthesizing top-level cards, he was still considered a lifelong loser. The system suggested moving to select a reward, but the irritated player insisted on completing the current task. The blessing of the black card transferred into the body of a graduate of the Knights Academy, the best in the class, but physically weak. The only relative in this world was his younger sister, the hot-tempered 15-year-old Shing. During dinner, the Emperor's Ring, a device that stores information and personal space, reported the appearance of the Eye of the Abyss 390 miles away. This meant a possible monster invasion. Shing panicked, but the D-level area was guarded and the knights were clearing it out. The plan was to hunt weak monsters to prolong life, but the fragile body got in the way. Suddenly, Sin screamed when she saw a vampire climbing into her room through the window. The Iron Rank monster thirsted for the girl's blood. Grabbing the backpack, the player hid his sister and led the vampire outside, teasing him. Armed with a pistol, he fired, but the monster transformed from rage. It became clear with horror, this is not an Iron Rank, but a bronze one, much stronger. One wrong step could mean death, leaving her sister unprotected in a cruel world. After luring the bronze vampire outside to protect Sin, he realized that the monster was weaker than it appeared. Despite the transformation, the vampire was gravely wounded, likely having fled from the knights after the battle. The decision to drag out time was based on the understanding that the exhausted enemy would soon fall. He continued firing his pistol and dodging attacks, but his strength was leaving him. The feeling of the end being near spurred the desire not to die a failure. The vampire, having surrounded himself with a protective ball, weakened, and his barrier began to crack. Gathering the last of his resolve, the player took aim and finished off the monster with the last shot. The game system reported activation and victory over the monster, for which a reward was given. To his surprise, a flying companion appeared nearby, a small shining spirit who became an assistant. For killing monsters, the player received cards, including not only regular ones but also special ones. The game system included white cards, common, green, rare, blue, legendary, purple, epic, orange, divine. The owner of low-level cards was interested in how to increase the chance of drawing a rare one. The companion recalled his reputation as a lifelong loser and his lack of luck. The stranger approached, suspecting that it was he who killed the vampire. She introduced herself as Linuan, a hunter from the Silver Hunters Association. Having received a signal of danger, she arrived to check whether the monster had really been killed. What was surprising was that a person without an Iron Rank and with a broken life wheel could deal with a third-level vampire, which suggested luck or hidden equipment. Confirmation that the monster was wounded and the victory was partly accidental followed immediately. Remembering his sister, the player rushed to her, interrupting the conversation. Sin stood in front of the destroyed house and cried, worried about future debts. Lilan inspected the damage and assured that the association would compensate for the losses. Using a gold rank device, she created a 3D model of the house to calculate the damage. Impressed, Shing learned that the equipment was powered by year-old life crystals and was amazed by Lilan's wealth. The gift of a 3-year-old crystal delighted the girl. Lilan's doubts that the monster was defeated without outside help led to the assumption of powerful equipment and an offer to buy it. The assertion that such a device is unknown and that he does not possess anything like that was heard in response. The admission of underestimation was accompanied by an offer to join the ranks of hunters. The promise of a future meeting came from Lilan. The association was soon to send people to do repairs and offer temporary housing. The overnight stay for him and Sin became a place where they felt a heavy responsibility for their sister. At night, a companion appeared, a spirit invisible to others, causing great fear. The reassurance was accompanied by a reminder of weakness and an offer to draw a new card. The decision to become stronger for Shing's sake led to agreement. The system offered to choose one of 12 random cards. The belief in luck rather than bad luck led to the selection of the gold card in the hope of changing fate. The golden mission card provided a chance to become a novice hunter in a month. The reward for success was a correction card, and failure meant the loss of the blessing forever. The companion named Xiao He explained that participating in the hunter exam required an iron rank, which was not available. Information about the mission was on the back of the card, but there was a catastrophic lack of time to obtain the required rank. Despair and fear of being a failure pushed him to the decision to complete the mission at any cost. In the morning, Sin left for school, reporting that the area had been cleared of monsters and that workers would soon begin repairs. Left alone, he demanded details of the mission from Xiao He. The recommendation to disguise the weakness with a level-up card and register for the hunter exam followed immediately. Tamers were rare and valuable, and having a third-level bronze vampire could ensure success. The blood-suppressing poison used in combat was dangerous. The knowledge that a rare resource was being used up did not prevent the decision to use the level-up card on the vampire to complete the mission. Xiao He's explanation of the summoning involved presenting a summon card, destroying it, and causing a monster to appear. The cards were only visible to the player, allowing abilities to be hidden. Summoning a vampire was accompanied by choosing one of his skills. Without delay, the monster was strengthened by the card, rising to the third level of the iron rank. Xiao He gave the monster the name Bai, but warned that due to the master's weakness, the rank had dropped from bronze to iron, a rare occurrence. Bai gained 3 new skills, but his strength was limited to the master level. At that moment there was a knock on the door. There were suspicious men standing on the threshold, looking like mafiosi, but they turned out to be workers of the Hunters Association. They arrived to repair the house and offered temporary accommodation in a luxury hotel paid for by the association. Sin returned and was delighted. The hotel was located near her school, and she'd long dreamed of seeing it. Checking into a luxury hotel provided by the Hunters Association allowed access to the canteen where food was free. The atmosphere soon changed. People became quiet, frightened by the presence of a man in combat gear. His piercing gaze was directed at his brother and sister. The stranger's aura was intimidating, and the decision to return to the room after dinner was accompanied by a willingness to protect Sin at any cost. The impossibility of resisting this man was obvious. As they rose from the table, they noticed that the man was silently following them. A sharp turn and demand for an explanation revealed that the stranger's number was opposite, which eased the tension a little. Returning to the room brought relief, although the anxiety did not go away. Sin, noticing her brother's condition, confidently noted the safety of the crowded hotel and, tired of worrying, quickly fell asleep. Left alone, he began watching videos of elite hunters. I was impressed by the recordings of Linuan, a brilliant silver hunter whose skill was admired. The silence of the night was broken by a strange sound from the street. A glance out the window revealed the same stranger training with a sword. Every movement he made was precise, and his technique was honed to perfection. The defeat brought the realization that he was facing a true master of the sword. Hiding by the window, he tried to memorize the movements, hoping to adopt at least a small part of this level. In the morning, a delivery from the Thousand Words Bird, a low-ranking monster that could speak and store packages in subspace, brought many boxes. Sin inquired about their contents, but the evasive answer about preparing for the hunter's exam was accompanied by a request not to distract her. The packages contained equipment that took almost all of their savings, 10 armor-piercing bullets and a long sword made of black steel, the best they could buy. The memory of the 18 sword styles seen in the hands of a stranger prompted him to train, practicing the lunge, turn, dash, and cut. The system notified that the first fragment of the Great Devastation skill had been received. Xiao He explained that in order to create a complete skill, one must collect all the fragments by repeating the technique with perfect accuracy. 100%. This required reproducing the movements multiple times with maximum precision. The accuracy was only 80%, and success seemed distant, but the training continued. After 9 hours of grueling work, only 20% of the fragment was assembled. The hotel director entered the room with Sin. An apology for the late visit was accompanied by praise for his hard work and an offer of special tea. The guest's satisfaction allowed the director to leave, offering to contact him if necessary. Shin's story about the director's modesty and tea as a reward from the Hunters Association for killing a vampire was unexpected. The fingerprint-activated reward box was opened immediately. Inside was the Dark Eagle 33, a black steel mechanical weapon with pistol and sniper rifle modes, one of the best on the market, costing more than bronze-rank equipment. Activating the weapon required iron-rank energy, which was not available. Shing's concerns about the plan to participate in the hunter's exam were met with assurance that she would not be left alone, and the training continued. Focus and skill increased, increasing the chances of collecting fragments. Shin's habit of not interfering with his brother's stubbornness made the task easier. After an hour of training, the system reported collecting 300 fragments, which were converted into the rare skill Great Devastation. The conversion of fragments into the first part of the rare skill card has been completed successfully. Xiaohei's explanation of the two parts of the Great Desolation and the possibility of creating an epic map by combining them was accompanied by information about a lost second part whose location was unknown. The suspicion that the stranger with the scar was deliberately demonstrating the technique prompted the decision to thank him and ask about the second part. A knock on the man's door resulted in a cold response from Gu Yi, who said that he had not taught anyone, and that the skill had been acquired through attentiveness. The door slammed shut, preventing the conversation from continuing. The determination to postpone the conversation until after the hunter's exam remained unshakable. Shing's reminder that the house renovation was complete and that it was time to return came at the right time. The time in the hotel with delicious food and comfort flew by quickly, but the promise of a better life in the future encouraged the sister. Gu Yi's meeting with the hotel's director, Yu. The cinema was accompanied by expressions of doubt about the young man's abilities. A broken life wheel and a low rank gave no more than 2 months, and defeating a vampire seemed like an accident. Yu's insistence Kinya's attention to the youth's potential was accompanied by a ban on interfering in world affairs. Gu Yi's authority. The recognition of talent was accompanied by a comparison with the genius Lilan and a mention of 133 days of hard training to master the first part of the Great Desolation. Mastering the same part in 3 days was proof of its uniqueness. Arriving at the completely rebuilt house was a surprise. The worker's explanation of building a new luxury home instead of renovating it, thanks to his friendship with Lilan, confirmed the association's generosity. The superior's impression of Lilan's merits ensured maximum quality. The family enjoyed the beauty of their new home and found themselves in a winning position. Contentment allowed him to focus on the main thing. In 3 days, the exam for a novice hunter would begin, on which his fate depended. Flying on a griffin, a low-ranking monster known for its speed, became the way to get to the place. 2 hours later, arriving in a large city amazed him with its scale and crowds of people, transferring all of Shin's savings provided for her during her absence. The encounter with a talkative young man named Yin Han was unexpected. Yin Han's surprise at passing the exam without an iron rank was accompanied by an offer to go together. Yin Han's dream of becoming a hunter, reinforced by his study of the profession, contrasted with his companion's caution. The briefing room was filled with participants. The examiner turned out to be Yue Yu, a strict woman who announced the closing of the hall and the disqualification of those who were late. The rules included crossing the Golden Flame Desert in 15 days, covering 1,500 kilometers to the Citadel. The ban on food and water meant that they had to be found in the desert. The fear of death due to a broken life wheel prompted me to write down details and mark the locations of monsters on the map to avoid them. Yu's indication of a safe route through the Goddess's Ridge was accompanied by permission to use any tools and a warning of failure if they did not reach the Citadel. Obtaining gold rank and higher relics is only possible by killing a superior monster, but this is rare. Yu's assistant's inventory check prohibited equipment above iron rank, poisons, and illegal items. The issuance of rescue team calling devices was accompanied by a warning about disqualification if they were used. The passage through the portal was interrupted by Yu's stop. Panic over the possibility of being expelled due to his low rank gripped him. Yu's grin was accompanied by a pass through the portal. The spatial portal struck with its rarity and power, surpassing weapons of the same level. The disabling of the Emperor's ring functions, except for access to inventory, was accompanied by the announcement of the start of the exam. The participants rushed forward, and Yin Han, having said goodbye, rushed off to explore the area. The limitations of the body's weakness allowed him to walk only 40 kilometers per day, making the task almost impossible to accomplish in 15 days. Yu's skeptical observation noted the low rank and average ability, predicting failure within 3 days. The collision with the limitations of a weak body became obvious. Xiao Hei's indication of a speed of 40 kilometers per day emphasized the impossibility of covering the 1,500 kilometers to the citadel even in a year, unlike iron-ranked participants who could cover the distance in half a day. The request for data on the Shatun tribe's sand ogres was addressed to a system that only provides information. The abandonment of the safe route through the goddess's ridge was accompanied by the decision to hunt ogres to collect summoning card fragments and use them as mounts. Having come across an ogre camp in the desert, he took action. Sensing the presence of a human, the monsters attacked furiously. While teasing and running away, the player released the vampire bay, who decapitated the first iron rank ogre with one blow. Bai, possessing the strength of the third iron rank with copper elements, easily dealt with his opponents. Confidence in the demon's power prompted the destruction of the entire tribe at once, avoiding individual battles. During the battle, the system reported receiving prana, and the Wheel of Life lit up. Xiao Hei's explanation about transferring half of the life force from the kills committed by the summoned monster confirmed the increase in strength. Increasing the sections of the Wheel of Life from 3 to 28 slowed down the slow death and gave hope for a breakthrough to the iron rank. The inspiration prompted me to continue hunting with Bai to collect card fragments and prana. Activating one gray section required energy equivalent to 10 white ones or 10 years of life. The order to destroy all ogres resulted in deafening screams. The sand ogre from the Shatun tribe has entered berserk mode, judging by the sounds. Hearing the noise, the other exam participants assumed that giant wolves were attacking and wondered who dared to attack the ogres. Yin Han, who remembered Lin Huang, hoped for his safety, unaware that it was he who had caused the chaos. An encounter with a 10-meter-tall sand ogre, the head of the copper-ranked Shatu tribe, revealed that the monster's anger was provoked by the extermination of ordinary ogres. Xiao Hei's confirmation of the monster's excessive strength, thick skin, and enormous endurance made a direct attack suicidal. Understanding the risk led to the decision to hit the weak points. The distraction of the ogre by Bai from the rear was accompanied by aimed fire from a pistol with explosive cartridges of iron rank. The decisive shot killed the boss. The system reward included a rare sand ogre card and an advancement card for defeating a higher rank monster. The regret that it wasn't Bai who dealt the final blow stems from the missed opportunity to strengthen the demon. Choosing the ogre's passive skill, Giant's Endurance, has increased physical endurance. Xiao Hei's approval was accompanied by a joke about the skill's usefulness for a heroic escape after the defeat of the tribe. Shatu's extermination yielded enough fragments for a summon card, allowing the ogre to be summoned. The companion's reminder to only hold one monster at a time was accompanied by advice to wait until the master became stronger. Bai's recall to the map occurred immediately. The next step was to summon a new monster, a giant sand ogre named Tyrant, a third-level iron rank. The plan to use Tiran as a means of transport in the desert was accompanied by a decision not to reveal the trump cards, Baya and Tiran, prematurely. The idea of absorbing a less valuable card of the same type into a rare ogre card to randomly upgrade one of Tyrant's skills came up out of nowhere. The decision to put it off and use Tyrant for hunting and protection until the end of the exam turned out to be a priority. The Tyrant's sudden fall due to the trap pulled the master down with him. The attack by other exam participants who knew about the low rank came as a surprise. The group, led by the blue-haired leader, approached, pretending to just want to talk. A group of exam participants, led by the blue-haired man Zuo Chu, suggested that Lin Huang join forces, noting the difficulty of the test and the weakness of his body despite the strength of his monster. They pointed out that the ogre would not be able to climb the goddess's ridge, and promised to help him up the mountain in exchange for his speed of movement. Lin Huang politely declined, preferring to work alone. One of the crew, angry, accused him of arrogance, saying that without their interest in his monster, no one would have paid attention to it. Zuo Chu, remaining calm, advised them to think about the proposal, but Lin Huang realized that they had no intention of retreating. The team belonged to the Zuo family, renowned for their gold and orange ranked hunters, and recognized as noble by the Federation. The arrogance of Zuo Chu was explained by their status. Annoyed by Lin Huang's refusal, they decided to teach him a lesson and attacked. Suddenly, the demon Bai appeared in front of them, causing the opponents to scatter, realizing that they could not cope with two monsters. Lin Huang recalled Bai and summoned Tyrant, the sand ogre. The participants, shocked by the appearance of the second monster, could not believe that a person without an iron rank was able to summon such creatures. Zuo Chu, using a defensive weapon, stood his ground against the tyrant, but realized that the monster had copper-ranked strength, which frightened him. Lin Huang, confident in himself, mockingly reminded them that they were the ones who wanted to teach him a lesson. Zuo Chu, trying to defuse the situation, proposed negotiations. After admitting his mistake, he apologized on behalf of the family, promising compensation, friendship, and any gear he had in his inventory. Lin Huang, rejecting friendship, demanded all the items from Zuo's inventory Chu to cover the moral damage from their arrogance. He pointed at the fighter who had insulted him during the fight. He, enraged, attacked again, but Lin Huang pulled out a pistol and shot him in the shoulder. Coming closer, he gave the wounded man 3 seconds to utter his last words. The bully of Team Zuo Chu, wounded by Lin Huang's shot, shouted, threatening the consequences. Lin Huang, mockingly remarking that killing would only deprive him of his qualifications as a hunter, was confident in his strength. With 3 powerful monsters, Bai, Tyrant, and the other, he had no fear of failure. Even without his hunter status, his talent as a tamer would attract any organization. He knew that the Hunters Association would not give Zuo Chu can easily get rid of him, especially if the young master gets hurt. Just about to pull the trigger, Lin Huang stopped when Zuo Chu, begging for mercy, offered any conditions. After thinking about it, Lin Huang decided to show respect for the bully's status, knowing that killing would bring trouble. Zuo family's arrogance had subsided, and he hoped that now they would not dare to touch him. Suddenly a cry for help was heard from behind. Lin Huang recognized the form of Yin Han, his talkative companion on the way to the exam. After calming down the situation, they sat by the fire. Lin Huang was surprised that Yin Han, who had left with the leading group, had lost his way. He told how their camp was attacked by ogres while they were preparing for the night, forcing everyone to flee. Yin Han called Lin Huang his savior, sharing his dream of becoming a gourmet hunter who travels in search of rare ingredients for the perfect dishes. Lin Huang, appreciating Yin Hong's kindness and culinary skills, decided that it would be useful to keep him around despite his noisy nature. When everyone went to bed, Lin Huang noticed a light coming from the tent and a huge ogre standing opposite. Running outside, he froze in fear when he saw a flock of crows, deadly monsters. Picking Yin Han up from the ground, he hurriedly explained that they needed to run, knowing that their chances of survival were rapidly dwindling. Lin Huang and Yin Han rode on the tyrant and raced away from the flock of crows, deadly monsters. Yin Han panicked, but Lin Huang told him to remain silent so as not to attract enemies. Realizing that the crows would catch up with them, he thought about the only way out, to request help through the button, which would mean disqualification. Losing the exam would have deprived him of the system and all hope, so he was not going to give up, even though he did not know how to survive. Meanwhile, in the 7D command zone, Examiner Yue, irritated by the weakness of the newbies, received a message during the night. Frustrated by the lack of rest, she checked the map and noticed Lin Huang's incredible movement speed. Even a copper rank couldn't move like that in the desert. Deciding to figure it out, she teleported to the signal and saw Lin Huang and Yin Han running away from a flock of crows on a huge ogre. Lin Huang screamed and begged the examiner to save them. The tyrant attempted to pass through Yue's portal, but his bulky body became stuck. Lin Huang called the monster back and they found themselves in her room. Yue, having clarified that the crows had been chasing them for half an hour, was surprised by the tyrant's speed, which was abnormal for an ordinary ogre. Lin Huang admitted that Tyrant is a rare mutated monster obtained from a map. Yue, having figured it out, said that she would report about the crows, and the threat would be eliminated by the morning. She promised not to disqualify Lin Huang if he continued the mission, since the crows were a serious reason for interference. Lin Huang clarified that he didn't use the call button because his communicator was broken from the beginning. Yue, without arguing, told him to take a friend and find a place to stay for the night until the situation was resolved, after which he could continue with the exam. Lin Huang sincerely thanked him and left. Left alone, Yue was jubilant. She had found a tamer with a mutated monster. Now no one would dare call her newcomers weak. Lin Huang and Yin Han, returning to the desert after escaping from the crows, learned from UAU that the flock was wiped out in a minute by veterans of the Hunters Association, whose strength far exceeded their expectations. She told Lin Huang to focus on the exam and breakthrough to the iron rank, threatening that the next distress call would force him to pay her hotel bills, an unusual punishment in lieu of disqualification. The portal returned them to an unfamiliar place. Last night, fleeing from the ravens, Tyrant carried them from south to north for half an hour, and now they were 60 kilometers from the camp in the northern part of the rest area. Having lost the night, they decided to speed up. After climbing onto the Tyrant, Lin Huang remembered the supply point nearby, but warned Yin Han to be careful. Other participants could be there, posing the same threat as the monsters. At the point, they found food and water, but noticed things scattered around. Someone had been there before them. The strange thing was that the abandoned items, although not valuable, were necessary, and no one would just throw them away. Suddenly, the Tyrant's roar made his friends wary. They ran out and jumped on the ogre, noticing the hellworm pursuing them, a demonic monster that even the Tyrant could not cope with. Lin Huang fired his pistol, but the worm was too fast and he couldn't escape. Suddenly he realized that the monster had no eyes or ears. It tracked its prey by vibrations. Lin Huang was right when he ordered the Tyrant to freeze. The worm stopped, having lost them. However, standing still meant failing the exam. Yin Han, having made up his mind, threw a piece of bacon from the bag but lost his balance and began to fall. The worm immediately rushed towards him. Lin Huang ordered Tyrant to hit the monster, distracting it so that his friend could escape. The Tyrant dropped and lost Yin Han, but Lin Huang, realizing that the worm was too strong, ordered the ogre to run to the side and throw him into the sand. Lin Huang mentally apologized to the Tyrant and used him as bait. The worm grabbed the ogre and began to absorb it, but at the last moment Lin Huang summoned the Tyrant back through the map, saving the monster. Now he needed to take Yin Han, who was still in danger. He looked around for his friend, but not finding him, he decided to move further east, hoping to meet him at the Citadel. The path turned out to be full of dangers, and the safe route proposed by the association did not live up to expectations. Lin Huang suspected something was wrong, but still reached the Goddess Ridge. Deciding that Tyrant was too big to lift, he called the ogre back and continued with Bai. Without the giant's endurance skill, he wouldn't have been able to handle the harsh climb. While climbing, Lin Huang's foot slipped and he began to fall, but Bai, tied to him with a rope, held his master back by clinging to the rock. The demon put Lin Huang on his back and they continued to climb together. By nightfall, exhausted, they stopped for a rest. Lin Huang had some meat left over from Yin Han, whom he jokingly nicknamed Kolobok. Wondering where his friend had disappeared to, he hoped that he was alive, dreaming of trying his cooking again. Noticing that Bai wasn't eating, Lin Huang turned around and saw the demon jump down, and then returned with a white fluffy animal in his hands, a snow animal. Lin Huang knew that these rare, harmless creatures were valued at the level of copper equipment. Deciding that the animal was hungry or attracted by the smell of meat, he offered it food. The snow beast, having eaten half of it, suddenly bit Lin Huang's pants, as if trying to take him away somewhere. Seeing no reason to refuse, Lin Huang and Bai followed the little animal. He deftly jumped over the ice blocks until he dived into an illusory ice wall, which turned out to be a portal. Lin Huang followed, but Bai couldn't get through. The portal only allowed people with permission, and monsters were not allowed in. It was cold inside, like an icy pool, and the bright light was blinding. Looking around, Lin Huang heard a rough human voice from the furry little animal, surprised by the discrepancy between its cute appearance. The beast transformed into a huge yeti, an ice attribute monster that surpassed even copper-ranked creatures. The yeti could have easily killed Lin Huang, but he calmed him down, stating that he meant no harm. He brought the man here to ask for help. He asked why he needed his help. The yeti extended his paw and offered to follow him, but first he told a story. Long ago as a child, he lived with a kind human mistress whose memories warmed him. Only after he evolved did he realize that she was not human. She, a snow maiden, fell in love with a mortal, but he, having learned her true nature, gathered hunters to kill her. In the battle, she tore out her heart to save her beloved, sacrificing herself. The yeti, fulfilling her last order, plunged her body into the lake, after which the goddess's spine became covered with ice. Lin Huang asked what it was for if the owner was dead. The yeti replied that the chosen one must melt the lake with his blood to bring her back to life. Over thousands of years, 3 have tried and failed. The Yeti only chose the kind-hearted, and Lin Huang became the 4th. All he had to do was drop some blood on the ice. If he failed, the Yeti would erase his memory, allowing him to leave. Lin Huang, thinking it was safe to try, agreed for the sake of his devoted girl. He pricked his finger and the blood fell on the ice. Hours of waiting passed without result, and Lin Huang had already lost hope. But the Yeti announced that the ice was melting. The lake came to life, the plants blossomed, and the mistress appeared before them, a dazzlingly beautiful woman. She addressed the Yeti as an old friend, thanking him for his protection, and introduced herself to Lin Huang as Shui Luo. He asked if she was a monster, but Shui Luo explained that she belonged to a divine race, different from the monsters that opened the 3,000 gates 800 years ago. The proclaimed god that Lin Huang spoke of only possessed a part of the divine power, while the true power of the gods was beyond comprehension. As proof, she sent magic into Lin Huang, healing his cracked life wheel that had been hampering him for years. Shui Luo announced that she would give another reward for saving her. The system notified of the divine presence and activation of the ethereal perception, raising the skill card Great Devastation to epic rank. Shui Luo, having seen Lin Huang, noted his unusualness for a mortal, having seen through his essence, which made Xiao He hide. She offered to send the young man back, promising support in the future. After he left, she and the Yeti planned to return to their world. Lin Huang, realizing that their paths would probably not cross again, received a warning from Shui Luo. The goddess ridge was dangerous, and the hunter's exam was suspiciously difficult due to the many powerful monsters. She sensed the aura of a superlative-ranked monster, whose influence was possibly related to some artifact that attracted monsters to Lin Huang. Shui Luo advised them to leave the ridge quickly, expressing hope for a new meeting. Coming out of the ice portal at dawn, Lin Huang found Bai covered in snow, who had been waiting for him all night. With his life wheel restored, he felt a surge of strength and continued to ascend, wondering how much more powerful he would become at the iron rank. Having reached the top of the ridge on time for the exam, he heard strange cries of animals. Noticing a flock of geese, Lin Huang thought of catching a couple for food. But he soon saw their true nature. They were monsters with toothy mouths and long tongues who pounced on him. After ordering Bai to run, Lin Huang fired back with his pistol as the demon pulled him with a rope. They took refuge in a small cave on a ledge, hoping to wait until the monsters left. Suddenly, a huge bird appeared above them, a black raven at the peak of its transition to the copper rank, hunting for unseriform monsters. Lin Huang let out a sigh of relief, thinking that the crow would give them a chance to escape, but the bird suddenly attacked them. Not understanding the reason for the attack, Lin Huang ordered Bai to join the fight despite the disparity in rank. He was close to completing the exam and did not want to back down. Having shot the raven, he saw with horror that the bullet left no scratches. Despair overwhelmed him. Was this the end? Lin Huang encountered the copper-rank black crow and ordered Bai to wait for the signal. As the bird approached, the demon rushed to attack, and Lin Huang, knowing the vulnerability of the monster's eyes, fired the last bullets, and killed an enemy who was much stronger than him. The system did not provide a promotion card, but gave out 2 cards for random luck. Xiao He explained that the strength of summoned monsters was limited by the weakness of their master. Even if Bai and Tyrant's cards were strong, their potential would not be revealed until Lin Huang himself became stronger. Although the dropped card wasn't particularly valuable, it was good for collecting fragments from certain monsters. Xiao He noted that Lin Huang's bad luck continued to amaze him. Realizing that there was almost no time left, there were only 2 days left until the end of the exam, Lin Huang hurried to the top. The numerous obstacles had taken too much of his strength, and now he needed to replenish his supply of armor-piercing bullets. When he reached the peak, he heard the voice of a stranger whose presence neither he nor Bai noticed. The stranger introduced himself as a participant in the exam and asked if it was Lin Huang who killed his black crow. Surprised to find a tamer in front of him, Lin Huang learned that the crow had been sent out to hunt and that their meeting had happened by chance. However, the stranger held a grudge. He summoned a copper-ranked blood eagle, but calling Bai a weakling, refused to take immediate revenge. Having bragged, he promised to sort it out later and flew away on an eagle, demonstrating obvious arrogance. Puzzled about how to get down the mountain, Lin Huang made a makeshift glider using chains and Bai's wings. Although the wings themselves were unsuitable for actual flight, they allowed them to glide downwards slowly and safely. Yu, who was observing the exam, did not expect that Lin Huang would be the first one to complete the test. She congratulated him on his success and said that he would soon be able to officially register as a hunter. Lin Huang mentioned the tamer he met on the way, adding that he had expected him earlier. However, Yu explained that this participant was a special case who had been exempted from the exam. Lin Huang objected, stating that he wanted to undergo the test like everyone else and immediately become a copper hunter. Lin Huang checked the statistics and found that the life crystals from Shui Luo had earned him over 3 million credits, making him truly rich. Yu warned that it would take several days for hunters to register after the exam. He decided to use this time to replenish ammunition and hunt monsters. After going around the city, which was much larger than his home region, Lin Huang was unable to find the rare bullets for his Dark Eagle pistol. The locals advised him to contact Old Man Zhang, whose shop might be the only place where such bullets were still sold. After a long search, Lin Huang entered the store where he was greeted by an unusual old man surrounded by equipment from iron to gold rank, including rare limited editions. Zhang suggested choosing a product and naming a price. Lin Huang ordered 3,000 regular bullets and 300 armor-piercing bullets for the Dark Eagle. The old man named the price, 165,000 credits. Lin Huang thanked him and was amazed to meet such a seller, but the conversation was interrupted by a sharp alarm sound. Zhang explained that it was a danger signal, and Lin Huang ran outside to find out what had happened. On the street, he heard that a monster capable of controlling other creatures had appeared in the Golden Desert and had lured many exam participants into traps. The Hunters Association did not have enough people to respond to all the requests for help, and some of the fighters had to stay in the city. The ban on leaving would only be lifted after the threat was eliminated. Lin Huang recalled Shui Luo's warning about the powerful superior rank monster and realized that her premonition had come true. Yu explained that such monsters were more dangerous than they appeared, and delay would make humans easy prey. She added that the association had already dispatched a hunter of the highest rank. Destroying the main monster should disperse the others and end the crisis. At this moment, Lin Huang noticed a familiar tamer from the mountain. He asked what would happen if the hunter failed. If the next one arrived too late, the entire region would suffer. The stranger did not want to wait. Lin Huang, agreeing with his arguments, decided to act. He walked up to Yu and mentioned Yin Han, who had disappeared at the Goddess Ridge. However, Yu strictly ordered him not to interfere and to return. The next morning, Lin Huang was awakened by the roar of a volcanic eruption and a new alarm. In a panic, he learned that the situation had become even worse. An excellent hunter had died. Now it was necessary to urgently find the leaders and contact the association in the conference room. Panic gripped the exam participants upon learning of the death of the excellent hunter. They begged Yu to release them, not wanting to die without their status as hunters. Yu explained that the wounded superior rank monster had sent its beasts towards the city, and it was the duty of the hunters to protect the area despite the lack of registration. The players, fearing death, insisted on fleeing, but Lin Huang called them pathetic. He recalled his fights with the crows, the hell worm, and the goose monsters, all controlled by the same superior monster. Escaping by air or land would not save them from such threats. Pointing to Yu as the strongest hunter in the city, he claimed that she would be able to hold out. Yu clarified that the monsters from the Golden Desert and Goddess Ridge were moving towards them, and she was counting on a day of defense. Lin Huang volunteered to hold out for 3 hours and called on others to unite. He emphasized that even gold-ranked hunters do not guarantee success in escape, and after the destruction of the city, monsters attack other settlements where their families live. Escape is not an option. You need to protect the area for the sake of your loved ones. The white-haired tamer from the ridge called him an idiot and left the hall, but Yu was inspired. She decided not to wait for reinforcements and to form teams by fighter types for defense. Lin Huang was about to leave, but Yu stopped him, revealing that her relic could only teleport 50 people. She suggested that the under-20s, including him, leave first, acknowledging that the city would soon become hell. The relic is limited in radius, and the nearest superior hunters will arrive in 48 hours, while the monsters will reach the city in 10. Lin Huang agreed that once the ridge was crossed, the defense would not last long, but running away was not for him. He suggested buying time until the hunters arrived by evacuating the residents to the mountains, where the terrain would provide an advantage. Yue mentioned a mountain gorge that could shelter many people if the entrance was blocked. Lin Huang, inspired, hugged her, calling her wonderful, and offered to help, promising to follow the plan. Evacuating 200,000 people was a difficult task, but he believed in success. Yue, inspired by his determination, formed a team. Zhou Lei with detection and trap skills, Yu Guang for ranged combat, and Wang Lin for support. Their balanced group should be able to handle it, but caution was key. Evacuation could attract monsters. Suddenly, Lin Huang felt threatened, grabbed the nearest girl, pushed her away from the danger, and turned around. A huge axe appeared in front of him. They were being attacked by minotaurs. Iron-ranked minotaurs, empowered by a totem that increases strength, proved to be formidable opponents, and their chances were slim. He confidently decided to destroy the totem first, distributing roles in the team. Yu Guang would cover him. Wang Lin would help Zhou Lei with traps. Wang Lin, taking the magic staff, began to distract the monsters with spells, while Zhou Lei was setting traps. Lin Huang, deciding to try out the epic card, Great Devastation, took up his sword and swung it, amazed by the power. The number of techniques increased from 18 to 36, and the power of the blows was incomparable to the rare version. During the attack, the Minotaur attacked from behind, but Lin Huang reacted and fought back. The system notified about receiving a fragment of the Minotaur map. The monsters retreated and fell into Zhou Lei's traps, where the bleeding effect weakened them. Lin Huang finished off the immobilized enemies, receiving new fragments and, for killing higher-ranking monsters, a temporary transformation card. While examining the reward, he almost missed the attack of another Minotaur, but Bai protected his master in time, saving him from death. The team that originally thought of Lin Huang as a weakling without an iron rank watched in amazement at his skill and synchronization with the demon. 20 Minotaurs were defeated, but the fight took too long, and the other team was probably already waiting for them at the rendezvous point. Lin Huang checked the Emperor's ring. Yue called, asking where they were. He explained that the Minotaurs had delayed them, but everything was under control and they would arrive in 2 hours. Yue snapped back that they only had an hour. The monsters were approaching and they had to run. Yue fiercely fought off the monsters, defending the entrance to the gorge, but one of the team shouted that there were too many enemies and their heavy rank was overwhelming the defense. They could no longer hold the passage. Yue ordered the wounded to retreat, promising to hold off the monsters. She declared that the hunters and the rest would fight her to the end. Suddenly she noticed a bloody hyena, a demonic monster that needed to be killed immediately. The team panicked, realizing that they couldn't cope. But at that moment, Lin Huang appeared, alive and on time. Swinging his sword at the hyena, he ordered the crew to help the wounded retreat while he took on the monster. The hyena, having risen to the second rank, rushed towards Lin Huang. Yue decided to first destroy the small hyenas to help him later, but Lin Huang was confident in himself. As a tamer, he considered these monsters below his level. He called out to the tyrant, but the hyena, anticipating this, jumped back. The monster's trickery didn't help. Lin Huang called for Bai, who appeared behind the hyena, covering it with fiery wings. For his victory, the system rewarded him with a fragment of the map, Bloody Hyena. Yue walked over, praising Lin Huang for the strength of his monsters and his swordsmanship, which she didn't expect. He brushed aside the praise, insisting that they needed to help the wounded while the hyenas retreated. But at that moment, the team did not notice a new threat. A swarm of spiders was approaching the gorge, the next wave of monsters. The team was about to flee, but Yue ordered everyone to stay put, reminding them that the mission was not complete, and running away would lead to certain death. The monsters will reach the gorge in 10 minutes, and there will be no time to block the passage with stones. She suggested using the Minotaur corpses as a barricade to hold off the enemy. Yue ordered the team to take action, taking on the spiders, but Lin Huang objected, insisting that she take care of the passage while he and his team would buy time by blocking the monster's path. Yue, as the eldest, did not want to shift the responsibility to the young, but Lin Huang reminded her that she was the sole commander of the base and for the sake of honor, she must protect 200,000 lives. Having convinced her, he gathered the team and led them forward. Yue began to build a barricade out of animal corpses, hoping that Lin Huang would survive. He called Xiao He, saying that after killing the bloody hyena, he had received the card Snow Post, a rare gold rank movement skill. Activating it, he began to fight off the spiders moving so fast that the team suspected that they were seeing double. Lin Huang asked Xiao He to temporarily block the connection between his life wheel and Bai's wheel, so that he could obtain the first ability enhancing life seed after reaching the iron rank. Xiao He explained that seeds are divided into elemental, enhancing, psychic, special, and mixed. Lin Huang chose to enhance the blade, but delayed the breakthrough because it required killing monsters with sword skills. My companion advised me to just survive. By morning, Lin Huang, exhausted from the night's battle, continued to fight. Yue reported that the passage was blocked and told them to return. He, dreaming of rest, understood that defending the base was his chance to save his sister. Suddenly, the Emperor's ring vibrated. The message said that the eastern region had been invaded last night. 3 small regions have been destroyed, with casualties numbering in the thousands. Everyone froze in fear, realizing that the heavily wounded superior monster, enraged by the fight with the hunter, was attacking everything around. Their base, the only one in the area, became the next target. Yue, assessing the advance of the monsters, reported that the number of victims was growing, and the defense would not hold out for long. She had hoped to hold out until the evening, when an excellent hunter would arrive, but the current situation with the influx of creatures was doubtful. Yue admitted that she was not afraid of death because hunters forget fear, but she did not want 200,000 people to die in the gorge. Lin Huang began to calm her down, remembering the phrase, "As long as a person breathes, there is hope." He urged people not to think about death, but to focus on the present. The team reported a new enemy offensive, and looking forward, everyone froze in surprise. These were iron-armored elephants. The superb monster cleverly used them to destroy the fortifications and cross the canyon. Thanks to their half-metal skeleton, the elephants' natural defenses were unrivaled, and it seemed impossible to destroy them before they reached the barricade. Lin Huang noticed a lone gold-ranked hunter fighting the monsters. This was Yue, a genius who ranked 11th in the Hunter Association, 1 step away from the superlative rank. Yue rushed forward, calling this hunter her elder brother. As he watched the spiders attack in waves, he heard Yue Zheng's words. The elephants were not very strong, but their armor was incredibly strong. The superior monster used spiders to weaken the web defense, and it was difficult to stop them before they arrived. Yue Zheng added that heavy firearms could solve the problem, but they were not here. Yue, urging the team not to panic, took out a firearm, explaining that on the black market, you can buy anything for money. She took aim with complete confidence, but the shot missed. Yue, in an apology for the miss, motioned for the team to take a closer look. Her shot broke off a piece of rock which fell and crushed the spiders. But the joy was short-lived. A huge flock of crows was approaching the gorge. The team, numbering a whole legion, panicked, seeing no salvation. Yue Zheng, still confident, ordered Yue to activate the teleportation relic. He noted that many of the exam participants have great potential and are the hope of humanity. Yue had to gather them and teleport them away while he held off the crows and bought time. After convincing her not to argue, he insisted on immediate action. Otherwise, it would be too late. Lin Huang took advantage of the pause to contact Xiao He to check the accumulated cards. After the last battle, he had collected 1245 skill cards. Recognizing his bad luck, he realized that hoping for a suitable card was useless. However, he came up with the idea of combining all the cards into one. In theory, this could create a rankless skill card, but it was unknown what kind of skill it would be, and it could only be used once. This was an unprecedented risk. Lin Huang knew that with his low level, even a powerful skill might be useless, but as long as he could breathe, it was worth the risk. He ordered Xiao He to merge the cards, stating that he would accept any result and immediately activate a new card. Lin Huang activated the fusion card, and a dazzling golden aura flashed around him. No one understood what was happening, but a powerful wave knocked all the monsters off their feet. In an instant, the fighting stopped. Yue opened her eyes and saw the exhausted Lin Huang, and all the monsters had disappeared. The team, shocked, began to shout his name, thanking him for saving them. Lin Huang himself was surprised by the power of the skill card, not expecting such strength. Yue, overjoyed, rushed to hug him. Yue Zheng, who was watching this, froze. He guessed that Lin Huang had used divine magic to instantly gain strength, and was now perhaps looking down on his elders. Calling it interesting, he turned his gaze to the cliff where Lin Huang could still sense an ominous aura. From the shadows emerged the main enemy, a superior monster. Addressing the divine descendant, he expressed surprise, not expecting to meet him here. Lin Huang realized that the monster was talking about him, calling him a divine descendant. The monster defiantly declared that any hunter would fall at his hand, but offered a deal. If Lin Huang was given to him, he would spare the others. This, he said, would be beneficial to both parties. The superior monster offered a deal, Lin Huang's life in exchange for saving 200,000 people. Yue wondered if it was worth sacrificing one for the sake of all. She suspected that Lin Huang was indeed a divine descendant, and his blood could allow the monster to evolve into a divine race. The monster declared that all the hunters who came to help had been killed, and no one would intervene for the next hour and a half. If Lin Huang was not handed over, he would destroy everyone. Xiao He, having assessed the deal, thought it was profitable, but Lin Huang was looking for a way to win. The companion was adamant that with his skills against a superior monster, the chances of survival were zero due to the huge difference in strength. Yue, having agreed to the exchange, asked for a minute to say goodbye to Lin Huang. She took him aside, took him by the hand, and, despite their brief acquaintance, expressed admiration for his courage, morality, and talent. Thanking him for appearing in her life, she asked for forgiveness for her actions. Suddenly, Yue opened a portal behind them and pushed Lin Huang into it, shouting that the future of humanity was in his hands, her voice trembling with tears. The monster, enraged by the deception, released a bloody aura, directing the charge into the portal. The teleportation failed, and the next moment a bolt of lightning pierced Yue's body. Yue, pierced by the monster's charge, fell to the ground unconscious. Her brother, grabbing his sister, begged her not to die, but she, weakened, only apologized. The superior monster laughed and called the humans stupid. He had given them a chance, but they had dared to deceive him, and now they must all die, becoming his prey. Transforming into a giant snake, he hung over the heroes, devouring them one by one. Everyone realized that this was the end. The monster, finally losing its temper, grabbed Lin Huang. Yue Zheng screamed his name in horror, but Lin Huang gasped and accepted his fate, remembering that in worlds with magic and monsters, the mortality rate was high. The snake swallowed him, wanting to make him a part of itself. Suddenly, the monster felt something happening inside him. His body began to vibrate, and a blue aura accumulated behind him. A huge Yeti hand burst out of space, grabbed the snake, and slammed it hard into the ground. The monster spat out Lin Huang and in a rage demanded to know who dared to interfere. He was shocked when he felt the aura of a divine rank. Lin Huang, deciding that he needed to run to avoid death, suddenly heard a familiar voice. It was Shui Luo speaking to him. Lin Huang was shocked when he saw Shui Luo and the Yeti she called Ice King. He thought that they had left this world, but the Yeti explained that the owner was worried about Lin Huang and came back to make sure he was safe. Lin Huang, infinitely grateful, admitted that without their intervention, everyone would have died. He was afraid that others would see the Divine Queen, but Shui Luo reassured him she used magic, putting everyone around to sleep. Being indebted to him for her life, she could not leave without repaying him. Using magic, she created a black snake, offering Lin Huang to devour it to strengthen the wheel of life. The snake contained traces of dragon blood, which, if it reached an excellent rank, would allow it to become a fighting spirit. Lin Huang put it off, begging to save Yue, who was seriously injured, for the sake of saving him. Although he acknowledged that Shui Luo had not used her powers for over 700 years, he still asked for healing. Shui Luo clarified that Yue needed a superior soul stone to restore the wheel of life and asked if he was willing to sacrifice a dragon-blooded snake. Lin Huang agreed without hesitation, claiming that Yue's life was more important. Shui Luo smiled and threw the snake away, admitting that she was joking. She had spare soul stones. Walking towards Yue, she placed her hands over her body and divine power enveloped the injured woman, successfully restoring her. Lin Huang, worried, asked if everything was okay, and Shui Luo assured that Yue Yu would wake up soon. Lin Huang, thanking her for saving him, called himself her debtor, but Shui Luo replied that their paths would most likely not cross again. She looked at the moon of this world for too long. Finally, she came closer and asked him if he believed in love. Lin Huang, answering Shui Luo's question about love, thought about her past. He explained that love is an inevitable feeling that comes to everyone, regardless of belief in it. There is no right or wrong in this, and no one has the right to judge someone who gave their soul for the sake of their loved one, even if that person betrayed them. Shui Luo, after listening, added that love makes one stronger but takes a lot of energy. She must be ready for it, even if her other half is an ordinary person, not a god. For her, he will remain the brightest light. Wei Luo, touched by the answer, realized something important. She regretfully admitted that she couldn't stay and thanked Lin Huang again, feeling indebted. She knew that he, a divine descendant, had fallen into the trap of a superior monster, and she decided to protect him. In order to hide his true strength, she altered the memories of everyone present, so that when they woke up, they would think that Lin Huang had killed the monster and his army, taking all the credit for it. Lin Huang realized that Shui Luo was afraid that revealing his divine status would bring trouble. After saying goodbye, she told him to take care of himself and stepped into the portal with the Yeti, possibly disappearing from his life forever. People began to wake up. Yue Yu, confused, asked her brother what happened. He said that the hunter arrived in time, killed the monster, and the danger passed. But Yue Yu felt like she had died and was brought back to life by an unknown force, having forgotten something important. Meanwhile, Lin Huang, having returned home to the code area, was glad that he had survived. After checking his sister's room, he saw that Shing was sleeping, getting ready for school. Lying in bed, he thought he officially registered as a hunter, completed the task on time, but where is his reward? Xiao He reported a flawless card that could restore a body once, valuable. But Lin Huang had another use in mind for it. Xiao He reminded Lin Huang that the flawless map could completely restore his body and asked if he was sure he didn't want to keep it. Lin Huang explained that thanks to Shui Luo, his life wheel was healed and there was no threat to his life. However, he wanted to improve his chances in future battles by strengthening Bai. Restoring the demon's blood vessels and removing the blood suppression poison will greatly increase its combat power. As a tamer, Lin Huang considered it his duty to take care of the monster's strength, as they were the key to his survival. After breaking the map, he started the restoration of Baya. Xiao He, intrigued, noted that he had never seen such an improvement in a monster, and suggested that they test the effect of the suppression poison later. In the morning, Lin Huang's sister Shing happily hugged her brother, but when she noticed that he was talking to Yue Zheng, she became embarrassed. Amazed that her brother was associating with such a famous hunter, she ran into the room. Yue Zheng got down to business, asking if Lin Huang was sure about choosing the six-armed demon as the target for the life seed. He checked the monsters with sword skills, and the six-armed demon who wielded combat blades was the best fit since its agility could enhance its sword skills. However, Yue Zheng warned that this monster was one of the most dangerous in the iron rank and did not recommend it for the seed. Lin Huang, seeing no better alternative to quickly break through to the iron rank, asked for a video of the backup hunter team fighting the demon to make a decision. Yu's greetings and ended the call. Lin Huang wondered why Yue Yu, who was too busy, didn't call herself. Deciding to study the video, he was shocked. The six-armed demon moved at a terrifying speed, each arm working like a killing machine. The movements were unpredictable, and within a minute the team of 6 was destroyed. Lin Huang doubted whether he could defeat such an opponent. Lin Huang, thinking about his harsh fate, decided to go to Wanyu Forest to find the six-armed demon, despite its danger. He was confident that this monster was perfect for enhancing the sword skills needed to break through to the iron rank. For the trip, he chose an aircraft that was only available in the city of Baki. Seeing it in the sky, Lin Huang was amazed by its size. The ship with 11 floors of rooms looked majestic. Having climbed into his room, he decided to rest, noting the high cost of the tickets. It was the first time he had spent so much. Rumor had it that the rich lived on the 11th floor, and Lin Huang dreamed of becoming rich one day. While following the news, he learned of the events at Goddess Ridge, where young members, including him, distinguished themselves in battle. However, some have become negatively known. Hunter Bai Yang not only did not help his comrades, but also ridiculed them, causing a wave of anger on the internet. Lin Huang sighed and realized that cyber violence was inevitable in any world. At that moment, Yin Han called him, finally getting in touch. Lin Huang asked why he didn't wait for him as he promised. Yin Han explained that he had lost track of him while trying to help, but Yu confirmed that Lin Huang was alive and gave him his contact information. Yin Han asked if it was true that Lin Huang was going to fight the six-armed demon. He confirmed that he was already on board and would be in the forest tomorrow. After watching the video of the demon's fights, he recognized her strength, but he had a plan. Yin Hang said that Yu asked him to dissuade Lin Huang from this idea, since Yue Zheng had already tried, but to no avail. Lin Huang was surprised why Yu didn't call herself, but at that moment the ship began to shake, and he heard a strange noise. After hanging up the call, Lin Huang ran out into the corridor. A loud voice announced that the ship was under attack by a flock of birds and that for safety they needed to return to their rooms, leaving the deck. Lin Huang was annoyed and wondered why he was always running into monsters. The aircraft carrying Lin Huang was attacked by a flock of explosion birds, monsters with 2-meter-long wings, sharp claws, and long beaks. There were too many of them, and Lin Huang knew that aerial opponents were some of the most troublesome. The ship was protected by a force field capable of withstanding attacks, and passengers were advised to remain calm. Despite the 90% safety, Lin Huang had a bad feeling. Suddenly, a gold-ranked explosive bird king appeared and rushed towards the ship. Passengers screamed as they realized the protection might not hold. The old man next to Lin Huang, feeling unwell, explained that if the field fell, the birds would rush in and everyone would become their prey. Lin Huang didn't know how to act. Even Bai, with his rank, couldn't stand up to the golden monster. The king struck the defense, but at this moment, Li Yanxin, the 5th-ranked, gold-ranked hunter, appeared on flying equipment. The passengers breathed a sigh of relief. With him, they had a chance. Li Yanxin, with one swing of his sword, destroyed the birds, forcing the flock to retreat. Everyone was amazed. His technique, if converted into a skill card, would be rare at the very least. Lin Huang, inspired, decided to master this technique as he had previously studied the Great Desolation, believing that the principles were similar. The old man wanted to thank Lin Huang for his concern, but he refused, citing urgent matters, and returned to his room to study Li Yanxin's technique. Xiao He expressed doubts. Last time the teacher deliberately demonstrated the Great Devastation by helping with tea, and now Lin Huang had only seen the technique once. The companion thought the chances were slim, but Lin Huang was determined. If you understand the essence of the technique, you can get fragments of the skill. He was ready to try 10, 100 times until he succeeded. For a loser like him, it was the only way to survive. Lin Huang, who had been training for 5 hours, did not give in to Xiao Hei's persuasion to give up on the new sword technique. He understood that simply repeating Li Yanxin's movements would not produce results. Imagining the fight with the 6-armed demon, he analyzed, "Great Devastation is powerful but inferior in speed. At best, he and the demon will kill each other. To win, you need to immobilize the monster using Baya and land 1 accurate hit per second." He swung his sword and cut through half the room, but received a notification, a fragment of the Thundersword skill card. Having collected all the fragments, he will be able to master the technique completely. In Code Area 7C82, Lin Huang, who had spent a lot of money on compensation for the damage, was left with almost no funds. Wanyu Forest was 300 kilometers away with no military bases nearby, and he didn't want to go alone. He needed a team of hunters of at least silver rank. At the registration point, he was met by a girl who invited him to join a group of adventurers going into the forest in the evening. The group, led by a gold-ranked captain, will stay in the forest for a week to carry out a mission and may take Lin Huang. The next group would leave in 12 days, and hiring a crew would be expensive. He didn't have that kind of money after compensation. The girl warned that the group was only responsible for delivery to the forest, and his further fate was his concern. That after payment the captain would contact him. Xiao He was hesitant about taking the risk, as the forest was a high risk of death. Lin Huang replied that with a gold-ranked captain there was a chance, but without defeating the demon he would fail. Soon the message came. The band was performing at 9 p.m. at the south gate. Overjoyed, Lin Huang, representing the reliable captain, arrived at the meeting place, but there was no one else there. He thought he was early, but a girl came up to him and called him by name. It was Len Yuexin, team captain. She confirmed that they were going to the Wanyu forest and demanded complete obedience to her orders so that he would arrive alive. Lin Huang confirmed that he was the one called, and Leng Yuexin reminded him to carefully study the contract. The team is only responsible for delivering to Wanyu forest, after which he will be left alone, as they have their own mission. Li Yanxin, another team member, explained that their task is specific and they usually do not take outsiders. There must have been a mistake in registration and they apologized, offering compensation, hoping that Lin Huang would refuse. The compensation would allow him to hire a special team to escort him there and back, and even help him defeat the six-armed demon. Lin Huang, knowing that going with the team would give him a chance to learn Li Yanxin's sword technique, felt uneasy about their reluctance. He wanted to answer, but Xiao He interrupted him, saying that the mission card had been activated, follow Leng Yuexin into the forest, reach Iron Rank and return to the city in 15 days. The reward is a progression card, and failure will result in the removal of one of the monster cards. Realizing that losing Bai or Tyrant was unacceptable, Lin Huang decided to go with the team despite their discontent. He told Lan Yuexin, who would not take compensation, signed the agreement, not wanting to back down. They, surprised by his persistence, agreed but emphasized that they would only deliver him to the forest. The team performed at night. Wanyu Forest was 3,000 kilometers away, but with gold-ranked monsters, the giant eagles, they could get there in an hour and a half. Lin Huang looked at the four companions and suspected that they were from noble families, judging by their wealth and dragons. Leng Yuexin asked why he was going into the forest. Lin Huang spoke about the goal of reaching the Iron Rank by obtaining the life seed of the six-armed demon. She was surprised, warning that with his powers it was suicide, but he replied that he would choose another monster if he failed. Leng Yuexin noted that they were on the same path, and he would rely on luck in the forest. Suddenly, from the forest already visible ahead came the roar of a gold-ranked monster. Lin Huang, feeling the source of the growl was close, tensed up. But the command reminded Leng Yuexin that their mission was accomplished. They took him to Wanyu Forest. They have their own task from now on, and it is not necessary to accompany him, although they can pick him up on the way back if he survives. Leng Yuexin countered that their route would still pass through a forest full of monsters that Lin Huang couldn't handle alone. She decided that he would stay with them for a while for safety's sake and that it would not disrupt the schedule. The team was against it, but its word was decisive. Lin Huang, surprised by their kindness, followed them deeper into the forest. He soon realized that the roar was coming from a crimson-armored dragon, a golden monster that had undergone its first mutation, one of the strongest of its rank. It was impossible to tame it without special skills, and Leng Yuexin decided that the team should kill him. As the dragon roared, Lin Huang felt a terrifying pressure that paralyzed him. Li Yanxin, confident in his abilities, asked for a minute to deal with the monster. Swinging his sword, he went into a frontal attack, risking death from a bite or scratch. Lin Huang panicked, but Leng Yuexin reassured him that everything was under control. Li Yanxin used a teleportation technique to appear above the dragon and defeated it with one blow. Lin Huang, before he could see the movement, was amazed by Li Yanxin's strength, but his arrogance was irritating. He regretted that he didn't have the dragon attribute to create a dragon monster card. Suddenly, the system notified that a dying mutated monster with dragon blood was detected, suitable for integration with the beast soul in the master's body. Lin Huang confirmed the fusion with the dying crimson-armored dragon, obtaining a blue epic dragon-type monster card of the third Iron Star with an initial concentration of dragon blood. It was an unexpected gift from Xue Luo, whose black python, containing dragon blood, was perfect for integration. Xiao He explained that dragons are divided into levels. The heavenly ones are the lowest, and the ones above are the true dragon warriors. Dragon blood concentrations range from basic, intermediate, advanced, and higher, and card rarities range from epic to divine. Lin Huang recalled Xue Luo's words about the value of strong monsters, realizing how rare his new card was. Xiao He suggested choosing a new skill for the card, but Lin Huang, having requested enhanced regeneration, received absolute defense. He was upset, and his companion quipped that the loser was back in business. But after learning the skill, Lin Huang realized that it was suitable for close combat. Unfortunately, the dragon can only be summoned after reaching iron rank, which would not help against the six-armed demon. Lin Yuexin, noticing his absence, reminded him of the danger of the forest. When he returned, he asked Lan Yuexin, "Does the dragon belong to the dragon family?" She answered that it did not, since it did not die immediately. Li Yanxin added that the monster's dragon blood concentration was around 8%, and if it was cultivated properly, it could reach 10%, possibly turning it into a heavenly dragon. Lin Huang asked if there were any real dragons in the 7th district. Li Yanxin said that attempts to kill one cost the lives of many excellent hunters until a demigod destroyed it, after which the information was classified. Having reached the place, the team pointed out the direction to Lin Huang, another 3 kilometers to the dwelling of the 6-armed demons. It was time to say goodbye, but Lin Yuexin grabbed him by the shirt and advised him not to take any risks. If the demon is too strong, it can choose another life seed when it becomes more powerful. Lin Huang, touched by her concern, agreed to retreat if he couldn't handle it. The first time he saw her smile, he noticed that behind her cold exterior there was a kind heart. Wishing the team good luck, he and Bai set off to hunt for the 6-armed demon. Lin Huang, after studying the sources, learned that the 6-armed demons were immortal creatures that sucked the life out of everything around them and became especially powerful at night. Deciding to wait for dawn with Bai, he devised a plan to lure the demons one by one, since their close proximity made a fight with 2 at once fatal. To reach the iron rank, one had to kill at least 2 6-armed demons, and Lin Huang understood the difficulty of the task. Noticing a monster in a purple dress, a mutated species, he decided to take a risk despite the danger. The lack of vocal cords in demons gave them an advantage. One would not call for help. Lin Huang released Bai against the first demon, knowing that the monster's life was contained in a mask that needed to be broken. While Bai fought to hold his opponent back, Lin Huang attacked the second demon from behind to increase his chances. Unexpectedly, the demon used a combination of magical and physical attacks, which Lin Huang was unable to fight off for long. Ordering Bai to focus on his opponent, he took out his pistol, shooting the monster and taunting it with the skill Traceless Step. Bai, surrounding himself with golden wings, entwined the first demon, binding his body. Lin Huang decided to finish him off and then move on to the second one. Suddenly, the second demon attacked Lin Huang, and the system warned. In a few seconds, the fatality rate would reach 100%. Having offered the transformation card, she requested activation. Lin Huang agreed and broke free from the enemy's grasp in an instant. His shoulders became covered in fiery wings, his hair turned white, and he felt the power of the vampire's strength, realizing its true nature. Bai fought with a 6-armed demon who concentrated powerful magic around himself. Lin Huang, in his vampire transformation mode, decided to end the fight. The purple-dressed demon did not retreat, formed a fireball in his jaw, and released it at Lin Huang. The monster, stunned by his strength, activated his passive weakness skill. But Lin Huang, using absolute defense and Traceless Step, dodged, keeping his distance. Lin Huang continued to fight and eventually defeated her with a decisive blow. After checking to see if Bai was okay, he noticed that the demon was trying to escape. Realizing that her death would bring about an iron rank, Lin Huang gave chase. The monster didn't have time to escape. Running up, he swung his sword and cut her in half. Prana depletion and the Wheel of Life began to restore itself. A magic ball, the seed of life, burst out of the demon's body, and the system transformed it into a card. Lin Huang learned that the initial level of a normal seed gave a 10% bonus, but this, thanks to the demon mutation, gave a 20% bonus. At gold rank, the bonus would reach 80%, doubling his hand speed. The effect of the sleight of hand was impressive, and Lin Huang was happy. The seed of life not only strengthened his skills, but also increased the number of monsters he could summon, relieving the burden on Bai. Having reached the iron rank, he decided to take a walk in the forest, feeling more confident. Lin Huang summoned Xiaohe to show off his first upgraded monster. Concentrating his power, he summoned an immortal dragon, black and friendly, which he named Cole. When he decided to upgrade its rarity from epic to legendary with a promotion card, he was harshly rejected by Xiaohe, who demanded that he use his brain. The companion explained that to upgrade from a rare to an epic card, 2 advancement cards are needed, and Lin Huang, being a vegetable, cannot use monsters higher than epic rarity until he reaches superior rank. Xiao He advised not to waste cards on Ember but save them for the future. Lin Huang, deciding that the forest was no longer so dangerous, went hunting with Bai and Cole. They attacked the flying monsters, obtaining fragments of the Purple Eye Eagle card. The system notified that 30 blue wolf fragments had accumulated and were combined into a map. The blue wolves used as mounts made Lin Huang happy. Not only could he ride them, but he could also learn their skill. A random choice gave him Blood Hunt, a tracking skill that enhanced his abilities. After 7 days of surviving in the forest, Lin Huang continued hunting and studied the Wheel of Life. Normally, accumulating life force requires practicing the crystal absorption and prana conversion skill, but Bai and Ember automatically converted the prana of slain monsters into life force by transferring it to his wheel. At this speed, he could reach the 3rd level of the Iron rank, but in order not to arouse the suspicions of Team Lan Yuexin, sealed the wheel channel, remaining on the 1st level. After asking Xiao He to take inventory, Lin Huang found out that he had 25 work cards. Suddenly, the mission map was updated. Due to unfair circumstances, the task had changed. Now he must go deep into the forest and find Lan Yuexin, who had gone missing. Lin Huang froze, not believing his eyes. Lin Huang, realizing the danger of going deep into Wanyu Forest at his level, wanted to abandon the mission. But Xiao He warned that refusal was tantamount to failure, and the punishment was the loss of an epic card, possibly Bai or Ember. You can't decline a task, but you can request friendly help. Xiao He pointed to the last spot where Leng was seen on the map. Yuexin, but the connection was broken. The forest was teeming with monsters that Lin Huang couldn't defeat, but riding the blue wolf with its super speed, he decided to take a chance. The wolf made it easy to elude enemies, and after 2-3 hours, Lin Huang reached the desired point. The place looked strange, burnt earth without grass, deep cracks, and an unusual stone in the center. Traces of Lin Yuexin and her team were not there. Using Blood Hunt, Lin Huang caught the scent of her perfume and followed the trail, which led to a waterfall. There, the scent disappeared. Suspecting a hidden cave, he summoned a ghost. A black silhouette appeared from the water and ordered to check if there was a passage behind the waterfall or under the water. If the crew went underwater without equipment, they could drown, but the lack of death notices gave hope. Half an hour later, the ghost returned. Lin Huang, alarmed by his long absence, learned that there was a long passage under the water, probably crossed by the team with the help of special equipment that he did not have. By deciding to use the transformation card, he gained the ability to breathe underwater. Finding the map useful, he entered the underground cave to find out what was hidden there. In his ghost form, Lin Huang, without feeling the pressure of the water, moved freely through the underwater passage, without needing to breathe or feeling his heartbeat. This invulnerable transformation proved ideal for research. Emerging in an underwater cave, he wondered where Lan might have gone. Yuexin. Moving forward, he discovered the body of one of her comrades, stabbed from behind, probably while trying to escape. The wound looked strange, but the lack of notification of mission failure meant that Lan Yuexin is alive. The cave was dangerous, and Lin Huang decided to proceed with caution. Moving further, he froze in horror, feeling the aura of a superior tentacle monster. Realizing that he couldn't cope, he wondered why he kept running into rare creatures. Noticing traces of blood, he assumed that Lin Yuexin and her team were injured and were unable to escape. The huge cave made it difficult to search, so Lin Huang decided to use Blood Hunt to pinpoint their location. Suddenly, the monster attacked, revealing his presence. The tentacles rushed towards him, but Lin Huang, pressing himself against the wall, dodged them thanks to his ghostly form. Deciding to retreat and use his tracking skill again later, he ran forward and discovered traces of the seriously wounded man. Finally, he found Lin Yuexin, who was dragging her brother. She promised to save him, but he, infected with the poison of the tentacles, said that there was almost no time. Lin Huang, hiding, decided to observe so as not to arouse suspicion. Lin Yuexin, noticing her brother's wound and having no antidote, decided to replace the blood. Biting his fingers, she poured her blood into his body, tying them together with bloody threads, and begged him to hold on. Lin Huang, watching, was doubtful. The poison of a superior monster cannot be eliminated so easily. Does her brother really want to sacrifice her life to save her? Len Yuexin, continuing to transfuse blood into her brother, begged him to hold on, assuring him that he had almost recovered. Suddenly a sinister grin appeared on his face. Taking out a knife, he attacked his sister, piercing her body and calling her stupid. He stated that to get rid of the poison he needed all her blood, and she would have to sacrifice herself. Pulling out his sword, he let her fall to the ground. Len Yuexin, calling him a scoundrel, heard that he liked her, but her beauty would be wasted. Lin Huang, unable to watch any longer, shouted at Bai to intervene. The demon pounced on Lan. Yangshin and Lin Huang rushed to Len Yuexin, asking if she was okay. Len Yangshin, furious, called him a suicide who dared to challenge a gold-ranked master. Surprised that Lin Huang had summoned two monsters at once, Bai and Ember, he noticed that the opponent had leveled up. Lin Huang, seeing that Len Yangshin, weakened by a severe wound, ordered the demon and dragon to immobilize him, and he himself opened fire from a pistol, deciding to cleanse the world of dirt. Bai's fiery wings bound Leng's body Yangshin, making him unable to move. In a panic, Lan Yangshin shouted that he was a gold-ranked master and should not die. Bai let him go, and he collapsed and began to run. When he met Lin Huang one-on-one, he didn't have time to attack. Lin Huang, using his fiery wings, pierced him through. Len Yanshin, falling, realized that he had collided with a vampire when he saw the opponent's red pupils. Lin Huang coldly replied that he didn't care whether he was human or not, and sent him to hell. The system notified of a gold-ranked cross-rank master kill, rewarding rare skill cards, Thunder Sword, and Cloud Step. Lin Huang, surprised that he had received the skills Thunder Sword and Cloud Step for killing a person, realized the value of the reward. Remembering the wounded Lan Yuexin, he used a healing card. She opened her eyes suddenly, frightened, and asked what had happened. Lin Huang reassured her by telling her that Leng Yanshin is dead and she has nothing to worry about. Len Yuexin, shocked, asked if Bai and Ember were really his monsters. Deciding that explanations could wait, she suggested getting out of the cave, but they were interrupted by an attack from a tentacle monster. Len Yuexin guessed that he was attracted to Ember's dragon blood. Lin Huang ordered Bai to take the girl out, promising to distract the creature. Assured that it would not be so easy to kill, he told him to wait upstairs. Len Yuexin, frightened, obeyed. Fighting a superior monster head-on meant death, so Lin Huang activated his ghost form, moving through space. Tracking the monster's scent with Blood Hunt, he stalled for time for Bai and Leng to Yuexin escaped. The monster, who was smarter than expected, shattered the stone, and the fragments sent Lin Huang flying backwards. Realizing that there was nowhere to retreat, Lin Huang noticed an opening at the top through which light was shining. Taking a risk, he used the transformation card to transform into a purple-eyed eagle and burst out of the cave to the surface. The monster's tentacles followed him, but Lin Huang realized that the creature was sealed under the rock, unable to escape. At the waterfall thought, Yuexin had diving equipment, and Bai probably took her out through the main exit. Where are they? Suddenly a stone hit him on the head. It was Bai who silently threw it. Lin Huang remembered that the demon could speak, but became mute, becoming his monster. At that moment, he accidentally saw Len changing clothes, Yuexin, and received a slap in the face, but she still thanked him for saving her, promising to repay him. Lin Huang waved it off, only asking that he return to the city with him to complete the mission since he was exhausted. Len Yuexin asked about Leng Yangshin. Lin Huang said that he was seriously injured and finished off by monsters, but kept silent about the transformation card. She breathed a sigh of relief as she reported that two of Lan's henchmen Yangshin is also dead. When she returns, she will tell his family that he was eaten by a superior monster so that Lin Huang can avoid trouble. On a huge bird, they went to the carefree city. Lin Huang, worried, asked if everything was okay after the assassination attempt. Leng Yuexin explained that the Li and Leng families were aristocrats, and without proof of death there might be trouble. She was worried that Lin Huang would be drawn in by showing concern. He asked why they went to the superior monster. Len Yuexin revealed that it was the floating orchid of the immortal abyss that was sealed 100 years ago by her family's ancestor in Wanyu Forest. Her mission was to kill the monster to advance to the superior rank, but she didn't know that it had mutated twice, becoming 10 times stronger. Without Lin Huang, she would have died. When she asked him why he came to help, she heard that perhaps he liked her. Suspecting that he was hiding something, Len Yuexin didn't press the issue, appreciating his kindness. In the carefree city of Lan Yuexin asked for Leng's ring Yanshin, which Lin Huang picked up after his death. He gave it to him, forgetting that the emperor's ring was closed and inaccessible. She promised to send the reward as soon as she sorted out the contents and, as she said goodbye, expressed hope for a new meeting. The system congratulated Lin Huang on completing the special quest, rewarding him with a relic card and a progression card. Back home, while Sister Shing was at school, Lin Huang instructed Xiao He to sort the cards. He had accumulated 19 cards, including 5 with new monsters, a good harvest. The transformation card was exhausted, but the best achievement was the skills Thunder Sword and Cloud Step obtained for killing Lan Yangshin. He was interested in the storage map and the restriction removal map. The first added 2 life wheels to store monster energy, preventing its loss, and the second removed restrictions on the use of items. Lin Huang wondered if it could be used on Xiao He, but his companion confirmed the possibility by activating a new skill, Card Fragment Store. After examining the store, Lin Huang found that the iron and bronze rank fragments were too expensive. 2 fragments for 1 needed one. Xiao He explained that this was a normal price, but Lin Huang, lacking the funds, decided to wait until he was promoted to a new rank. Xiao He warned that although the iron rank life wheel was full, it would take several months to stabilize. Otherwise, advancing to the next rank would cause a leak of life force, even to the point of gut fireworks. Practicing life skills can shorten this period. The higher the skill, the faster the energy accumulates. Lin Huang decided to choose a life skill, but Xiao He couldn't immediately recommend a suitable one given the hero's strength attribute. After contacting Yue Zheng, Lin Huang apologized for disturbing him, explaining that he was the most experienced of his acquaintances. Yue Zheng, who had not slept for months after clearing the monsters, was impressed that Lin Huang had defeated the 6-armed demon and reached the iron rank. He explained that the life skill should match the life force attribute if there is one, but many, including him, do not have the attribute. The choice depends on preference, but high-end skills are preferable. Yue Zheng recommended the martial life skill, a 9-tier skill where the 6th tier gives the power and speed of the ultimate skill. With Xiao He's help, it is possible to reach this level. Lin Huang chose martial life skill and asked about the price. Yue Zheng was surprised. Didn't he receive the package? Everyone who helped against the horde of monsters was sent rewards, and Lin Huang received this skill that should have arrived by now. Returning home, Lin Huang was warmly greeted by Sister Shing, who, hugging him, confessed that she was afraid for his life because he was her only relative. He reminded that the holidays were starting tomorrow and he had booked plane tickets for a joint trip. Lin Huang asked about the packages and learned from Shing that 2 had arrived. The first, from the Hunters Association, contained a reward, and the second, without a sender's address, surprised him. Inside he found a ring, a note with a password, and the scent of Lan's perfume. Yuexin. Opening the Emperor's ring with a capacity of 100,000 square meters, incredibly valuable, worth 100 million credits, Lin Huang discovered thousands of life crystals, weapons, and the battle sword Leng Yanshin, 2 artifacts that are currently unavailable, and a vault containing 38 billion credits. He was shocked by Len's generosity. Yuexin realized how great the influence of the aristocrats was. Xiao He, also surprised, noted that she had given away all the contents of the ring. With 4 promotion cards, Lin Huang could enhance Bai and Ember, but Xiao He warned that enhancing twice was equivalent to life transformation, turning the monsters into a new species. This requires a huge amount of life energy, which can attract superior monsters or the Observation Bureau. Enhancement is dangerous both in the stronghold and in the wilderness. In the package, Lin Huang found a bronze token. Confirming his promotion to the bronze rank, he became a real hunter, not a reserve one. There were also the martial life skill training crystals that Yue Zheng had spoken of. Xiao He suggested activating the crystals with life energy. Lin Huang did so, and a broadcast appeared in the air. The old teacher demonstrated techniques reminiscent of hand-to-hand combat where every blow was deadly, similar to military equipment. The teacher explained that this was a military tactic, a close combat technique used in conjunction with the military life skill until reaching gold rank. Lin Huang began to study the military tactics by imitating the movements of the crystal teacher. The key was dividing the life force into streams, first into 2, then 3, 4, and up to 12. He wondered if this would weaken the power, but he realized that the division allowed him to change the form of energy, gathering it for a powerful blow or distributing it for flexibility. This made the military life skill unique. Having successfully divided the power into 2 streams, he received a notification that the first level of military tactics had been reached. Now he could turn technology into a map, and training would bring fragments for the next levels. Xiaohe explained that the second level required 200 fragments, the third level required 400, and so on, doubling. Level 9 will require 810,000 fragments. When upgraded, the effect increases by 12% per level, at level 6 to 72%, which is comparable to the highest life skill. Lin Huang, realizing that collecting the fragments would speed up progress, was inspired. Xiaohe called him a genius for mastering the first level in an evening, but noted that there are unique people who can do it in half an hour. Lin Huang, smiling, admitted that he was not the main character of this story. At that moment, Sin entered the room and asked how he slept. Noticing the strange smell, Lin Huang learned that his sister, enjoying the vacation and their travel plans, had prepared food as a thank you. The dish looked terrifying, but so as not to offend her, he ate a spoonful, praising the taste. Shin, delighted, offered more portions, but the system suddenly reported the detection of poison in the body, requiring healing. Shing hurried her brother, afraid of missing the flight to Xiagong. Lin Huang reassured her, saying that there was no need to fly, he had a faster way. He snapped his fingers and summoned a purple-eyed eagle. Shing was shocked to learn that her brother was a tamer, something he had mentioned while recalling the reserve hunter exam. They mounted and flew to Xiagong. In Xiagong, Lling was delighted by the vibrant atmosphere of the city, which is popular during the holidays. Lin Huang booked a hotel in advance, inviting his sister to go shopping. Lling said that on the ship, she made a list of famous places in Xiagun that she wanted to visit. Along the way, they saw news about the Lling family, the most powerful among the 6 royal families of the 7th Division. Their daughter achieved the superlative rank at the age of 19, which was considered a once-in-a-century rarity. Lling, without listening to the end, dragged her brother further. At the hotel, they were met by the staff and taken to their ready rooms. Although Lin Huang came for vacation, he called Xiaohe, explaining that Lling was sleeping and he wanted to continue training in military tactics. Xiaohe praised him for realizing the importance of hard work, noting that only patience and hard work can help master the technique. Moving to the next level will require even more effort. Lin Huang noticed that he could already easily separate the life streams. Xiaohe explained that 1 full rotation cycle produces 1 fragment, and it currently takes half an hour. Even with 15 hours of training a day, the second level will take at least a week. However, Lin Huang found that the cycle time shortened with practice. The system rewarded him with a piece of military tactics. Suddenly, Lling woke up, unable to sleep, and decided to find out what her brother was doing. When she knocked on his room, she received no answer. Lin Huang, who was concentrating on rotating his life energy, did not hear the knock, hoping to reach the second level by evening. Lling, thinking that he was sleeping, was surprised by his early rest and went for a walk alone. In the hotel garden, she felt that she was being followed and, frightened, decided to return. After throwing out the trash, she froze. The trash can transformed, grew teeth, and swallowed Lling. Lling went missing, and Lin Huang contacted the police. The detective quickly arrived at the hotel, which is known for its security. The cameras captured Lling leaving the room, but did not record anything else. The perpetrator likely knew the location of the blind spots. The case resembled other kidnappings. Lin Huang, who first reported the missing person, then disappeared, leaving the police baffled. Meanwhile, Lling found herself in an astral plane, where a stranger named Lily called her sister, assuring her that everything would be fine. Behind Lily stood a worm monster, her friend, who helped her find new family members. Lily declared Lling as her sister in Daddy's family. The girl, in a panic, demanded her brother, but Lily, grabbing her by the throat, threatened. An attempt to escape would make her food for the worm, like others before her. Lling cried, hoping to be saved by Lin Huang. Lin Huang, using Blood Hunt, sensed his sister nearby. Ignoring the guards, he released Bai, who caused an explosion, knocking out the agents. Lin Huang ordered the demon to mercilessly kill anyone who stood in his way. The agents reported that the first group had fallen and were ordered to stop Lin Huang at any cost, without sparing any bullets. They opened fire at the elevator, but Lin Huang came out from the opposite side, mocking them for not watching movies. Having quickly dealt with them, he promised death to anyone who touched his sister. Hearing the voice mentioning Lling, he turned around and saw a man and his daughter on the stage. The voice claimed that they were the only ones here, but Lin Huang realized that this was a mistake. Wei Shan, after introducing himself, assumed that he was mistaken and asked Lin Huang to listen without frightening his daughter. Lin Huang replied that he would find out the truth by searching the room. Wei Shan blocked the entrance, declared that it was his property, and demanded that they contact a detective, threatening the child. Lin Huang, confident that Lling was there, drew his sword, demanding her release. Otherwise, Wei Shan would not live. He became indignant, calling Lin Huang an impudent person who broke into his house, and promised to file a complaint with the Hunters Association, boasting of his status. Lin Huang, sensing his sister's presence, walked around the room but did not find her. Wei Shan, not believing that an iron rank would dare to threaten him, threw a card, summoning a huge worm, and ordered it to kill Lin Huang. The hero, noticing that this was not a tamed monster, decided to do without his creatures. With one swing of his sword, he cut the worm in half, repeating that anyone who touched his sister would die. Shan's daughter, Lily, pointed a gun at the tied-up Ling's head, threatening to kill her if Lin Huang did not release her father. Wei Shan praised his daughter, calling her devilish, proud of his choice. Lin Huang asked Lling if she was hurt and reassured her that he was nearby. Lily repeated her threat, but Lin Huang instantly appeared in front of her. She trembled in fear, and with one movement he cut his sister's ropes, freeing her, and put his sword to Lily's throat, not allowing her to move. At that moment, the police burst into the room, ordering them to lower their weapons. They informed Lin Huang that Lling had been saved, but killing him would make him liable to the law. The police guaranteed his family's safety if he handed Wei Shan and Lily over to them. Lin Huang discussed the series of kidnappings of girls with the detectives, suspecting Wei Shan and Lily. The detectives thanked them for their help, but clarified that Lily was a victim and could not be killed, although both would be held accountable before the law. Wei Shan, laughing hysterically, declared that the law was for the worthless, and that he would be released in 3 days thanks to his connections. He remembered Lin Huang, threatening to kidnap Lling again, make her a broken toy, and kill him. The police took Wei Shan away and placed Lily in custody, calling a doctor. One of the policemen advised Lin Huang not to act hastily, hinting at Wei Shan's connections. Lin Huang reminded that he was told to trust the law, and he believed it. The police whispered, wondering why they hadn't opened a case against Lin Huang for the injured agents. They suspected that he was not an ordinary iron rank hunter and decided not to cause any trouble. Wei Shan, resisting arrest, shouted that Lling would soon be his, but a sudden blow shocked everyone. Bai's golden threads entangled Wei Shan and he screamed, disappearing in agony. Lin Huang, watching from the rooftop with Bai's map in hand, reassured Lling that it was all over and no one was threatening her safety anymore. They were about to go home, but an unknown person was following them. Shan's death at the hands of a young man, he sent his photo for verification. If Lin Huang doesn't work for someone, he is ordered to be eliminated. Lin Huang thought that Lling would need time to recover from the kidnapping, but she quickly recovered, enthusiastically choosing clothes in the store. He was surprised by her energy, but he felt an evil aura nearby. Suddenly, Bai appeared in front of Lling in his demonic form, making her think that her brother was preparing for battle. The store employee noticed them and asked if they needed help. Lin Huang, distracted, inquired about the price of the item, planning to buy it later. While walking with his sister, he noticed her anxiety and reassured her that everything was under control. During the festival, Lin Huang felt threatened. Feng Zhuoren was also there. He reached for his sword and transformed into a blue wolf, shocking the crowd. At that moment, the blue wolf disappeared, leaving him bewildered. Feng Zhuoren, who was watching this, was shocked. His sense of smell, which could detect the aura of a silver-ranked assassin, had failed him for the second time. For an iron rank hunter, Lin Huang had amazing potential. He continued to monitor the man wandering around the building, reporting over the radio that the second team was under attack, but the culprit had not been found. Suddenly, Feng Zhuojian appeared behind him, grabbed his hand, noticed the ring, and realized that the boss was standing in front of him. A blue wolf's head grew out of the stranger's back and sank into the commander's neck. The enemy offered him a meeting to reveal his identity, scheduling it for an hour after sunset at the clock tower. He unleashed his wolf, which suddenly grew and devoured the commander, leaving the outcome of the fight unclear. Feng Zhuoran, Lin Huang's opponent, encountered a stranger in a black cloak that hid his face. He asked why the Lling family was protecting the brat Lin Huang and what kind of connection they had with him. Feng Zhuoran first demanded to know why he would send a superior hunter to kill an iron rank, and whether the person Lin Huang killed was an important figure. The stranger, evading the answer, repeated the question about the intentions of the Lling family. Feng Zhuoran, not knowing all the details, replied that he was only following orders and summoned 3 wolves, directing them towards the man in the cloak. He fought back, accusing Feng Zhuoran of starting the war, but unable to withstand the onslaught of the wolves, was forced to flee. Feng Zhuoran, considering this an acceptable result, contacted Leng Yuexin. She asked if everything was okay. He assured that the situation was under control and added that he would monitor Lin Huang for several days to avoid any possible problems. Leng Yuexin sensed a strangeness in his voice, and he admitted that the opponents had already deployed a transcendent, which he had managed to scare off. Feng Zhuoran wondered who Lin Huang was to make so much fuss over him. Leng Yuexin explained that it was not the guy himself, but the man killed, who came from an ancient clan of the 2nd Division. At the same time, she kept silent about the excellent as if it were taboo, which only emphasized the seriousness of the situation. She called her uncle the pillar of the Leng family and asked him to protect Lin Huang until the opponents dared to act directly. Feng Zhuoran agreed and hung up, deciding to continue watching the boy. Meanwhile, in the 2nd Division, a pink-haired girl was talking to a skull, accusing her son Wei Shan of being careless. The broken wheel of life did not allow him to use the power of life, protective equipment, or artifacts, but he, carried away by the search for the girls, went to a dangerous place without protection, which led to his death. Pressing the skull to her forehead, the woman vowed to avenge her son. The skull's jaw dropped, calling her mom. The son demanded revenge. Shan's skull demanded that his mother take revenge on Lin Huang by killing him and making him a dead slave. Mother promised revenge, but warned that the intervention of the Leng family from the 7th Division required caution. She told Shan to remain in the vessel for 3 years until his spirit stabilized, and then to find him an undead body. She had her own plans for revenge. Shan asked about them, and the mother called Lily. The girl, calling the skull Dad, was delighted at its future return. His mother said that he would come back to life in 3 years and offered to help Lily take revenge on Lin Huang, who killed her father. Lily, burning with rage, vowed to tear him apart for ruining his happiness. Mother set a condition. Lily must survive a year to get a body for revenge and not let her father down. The girl confidently stated that she could handle it. Meanwhile, at the Xiaogong Museum, Lin Huang, tired from practicing military tactics at night, was walking with Lling. She spoke about local exhibits from excavations of ancient cities and ruins, including central collections. The guide enthusiastically described the finds, but Lin Huang froze when he saw a broken laptop presented as an archaeological find from the Xiaogong ruins. The guide explained that its purpose was unknown, but it belonged to an ancient era. Lin Huang realized that this device was brought by another traveler like himself, confirming that he was not the only one in this world. Contacting Yue, he asked about the ruins. She said that excavations in Xiaogong began 300 years ago, when the 7th Division was still under construction. Archaeologists have found unusual items, including unique jewelry. Lin Huang suggested that the city was connected to Xia Hao, a man from an old era who rose from an ordinary man to a demigod in a few years. He was called an evil spirit, but he disappeared, becoming a myth. Lin Huang noted that people below the superior rank live up to 720 years, and superior rank up to 1800, so Xia Hao had long been dead. He was sure that it was the traveler who brought the notebook. Yue reported that there was little information about Xia Hao due to restrictions on records from the old era, but she sent everything she found. Lin Huang thought only travelers with blessings could reach the demigod so quickly. Xiahao, the key to his questions, and the ruins of Xiagong became the new target. Lling, noticing that Lin Huang was going to Xiaoxia City, asked him why he was going there. He explained that he had questions about the ancient ruins at the Xiagong Museum and wanted to see them. After suggesting that his sister walk around the city alone, he left Bai to protect her and went to Xiaoxia, located near the ruins that occupied a third of the city's territory. At the hotel he booked, Lin Huang noticed that there were few guests and asked the owner if it was the off-season. He replied that because of the summer holidays, tourists first visit Xiagong, but after 3 or 5 days there will be no free rooms left. After asking the owner about the ruins, Lin Huang heard local legends. The owner, who has lived here for a long time, said that the ruins are a mysterious place surrounded by tales. In ancient times, Xiahao, a powerful man, built an empire and the ruins were his palace. But one night, everything disappeared, the empire, the palace, and Xiahao himself, as if they had never existed. The owner advised him to treat these stories as fairy tales, but Lin Huang was intrigued. Despite the off-season, there were quite a few tourists at the ruins, and there was a protective field around them. Xiaohei noted that the layout of Xiagun was unique to this world and remained an unsolved mystery. Lin Huang compared it to a mini-version of the Forbidden City, confident that Xiahao, the traveler who brought the laptop, was the one. Suddenly Xiaohei sensed something strange and rushed towards the ruins. He pointed to the sea rock floor, where even a perfect one would not have left marks, but there were huge cracks there. Xiaohei explained that an energy wave from the destroyed blessing was detected underground, at a depth of 3,000 meters. Absorbing this energy can enhance Lin Huang's blessing or grant a new skill. This would require careful planning, and they returned to the hotel. Lin Huang asked if Xiaohei had noticed anything else underground. The companion reported that the waves were coming from a double-mutated silver-rank monster of unknown type, making the descent dangerous. Lin Huang's time transformation cards had run out and he couldn't become a ghost. Xiaohei offered to exchange 60 bronze fragments for 1 ghost transformation card, and Lin Huang, seeing no choice, decided to take 5 of them. Suddenly, the light in the room went out. There was silence, and Lin Huang realized that there was someone standing behind the door. Lin Huang, holding a gun, asked who was at the door. The stranger, who identified himself as the owner of the hotel, apologized for the power outages and asked not to worry. Lin Huang, about to go to bed, suggested that they talk tomorrow, but the owner, remembering the story of the ruins, insisted on talking, knocking threateningly on the door. Suddenly the window glass shattered and a girl burst into the room, engulfed in a strange aura. She pounced on Lin Huang. Xiaohei exclaimed that it was a parasite controlling her, and by removing the influence she could be saved. Lin Huang fired a shot to fight back, but the owner punched a hole in the door, mocking him for not sleeping but fighting. Lin Huang suspected that the host was also under the control of the parasite and asked Xiaohei how to find the source. The owner stated that his master ordered Lin Huang to be killed, and the body delivered because the boy had something he needed. Lin Huang, not understanding why they wanted to kill him, began to shoot, but new infected climbed through the door. With no choice, he jumped out of the window where other monsters were waiting for him. After breaking the card, he summoned the purple-eyed eagle and flew up. Xiaohei guessed that the monster under the ruins was a parasite that controlled people to attack Lin Huang because of his blessing. Lin Huang asked if the abnormal energy in the ruins could sense him like he sensed it. Xiaohei confirmed that if Lin Huang could absorb her energy, the parasite could also take over his blessing, replacing his will if it was strong enough. Lin Huang realized that the parasite, having sensed his currents, had sent the infected ones after his body. Xiaohei suggested to flee or fight. Fleeing meant that the parasite would pursue Lin Huang, threatening Xiagong where Ling was. At this point, the boy decided to contact the Hunters Association, reporting hundreds of infected people at the southern gate of Xiaoxia, asking for help. Xiaohei noted that destroying the source of the parasite could restore people's consciousness, and with the help of hunters, there was a chance to save them. Lin Huang knew that Bai would protect Lling, but the parasite that had discovered his blessing would not stop. Returning to the ruins is the only way out, otherwise Xiagun will suffer. Lin Huang decided to fight, knowing that losing Xiaohei was tantamount to death. Kill or be killed, there is no other way. Lin Huang, in the Xiaoxia ruins, discussed with Xiao He about the energy body underground. It could sense both of them, but its will and abilities were limited as it was only residual energy. Xiao He masked his energy waves so that the parasite would not detect him from a distance of more than 100 meters. Suddenly they hid, noticing the infected behind the stone. Xiao He offered to leave, assuring that he would not be seen, but the monsters stated that their lord sensed Lin Huang's aura and demanded his death to take the energy. Lin Huang realized that the parasite sensed not only its companion, but also him. He came up with a plan. Using the transformation cards, he turned into a ghost and asked Xiao He to show him the way to the energy body. It controlled the parasite, evolving thanks to this energy, but remained its host. Once inside, they saw a fireball intertwined with red spikes. Lin Huang guessed that this was the energy body. The parasite, being a bronze monster, had enslaved tens of thousands of people, and if it reached the superlative rank, it could cause a disaster. The decision was made to destroy him. Lin Huang smashed the card summoning Ember, who released black flames. Both the dragon and the parasite were bronze rank 3, twice mutated, but Ember, as a dragon, should have been stronger. The flame set the energy body on fire, but it began to rapidly regenerate, growing and pushing the dragon away. Xiao He realized that even Ember couldn't handle it. If the energy essence found Lin Huang, it would easily absorb him. The Ember could resist the parasite's spores for a long time, but Lin Huang, as an ordinary person, was vulnerable. The transformation time ended, and Lin Huang returned to his body right in front of the energy body. It noticed him immediately. Spores rushed towards him, threatening death or infection. There was nowhere to run, but Xiao He used another transformation card at the last second, saving the guy. However, the premonition of trouble remained. The parasite, having lost sight of Lin Huang, went into a rage, releasing spores everywhere, infecting everything around. In the ruins of Xiaoxia, the infected are no longer the parasite's puppets, but their bodies are once again taken over by the spores that burst out. The parasite absorbed the prana of people in an attempt to reach the silver rank. Lin Huang realized that Ember would not defeat him if he continued to grow, and asked Xiao He for a way to destroy him. A companion mentioned a minor destruction card from the fragment shop that could kill any minion below superior rank, but it required 1,000,000 fragments, an unattainable price. Lin Huang thought about retreating to come back stronger, but Xiao He warned him that the parasite was growing too fast by feeding on the abnormal energy. In 2 months, he will reach the superb rank, possibly with a third mutation, becoming the strongest being in the world. The residual energy probably belonged to Xia Hao's blessing, but Xiao He refuted that it was stronger. Blessings were limited by rules, and this entity, having become independent, ignored them, which explained the parasite's rapid growth. The companion noted that unlimited growth leads to self-destruction, the first rule of peace. He asked if Ember could win if the parasite's regeneration was suppressed. Xiao He replied that to do so, Lin Huang had to touch the energy sphere that fed the parasite for 3 minutes. It is dangerous to approach the sphere. The parasite will kill him in seconds. Lin Huang asked if the sphere can move. Xiao He explained that no, unless another blessing absorbed it. Lin Huang then decided to hide under the sphere, touching it from underground so that the parasite could not reach it. Xiao He warned it's too risky, the parasite will notice. Lin Huang finally made up his mind, taking a position under the ghost-shaped sphere, hoping to hold out for 3 minutes. But the parasite had already reached silver rank and was starting to grow. Its second-level silver rank attack could even kill a ghost. At that moment, the parasite's red spine squeezed Cole, almost killing him. The system has notified that the dragon is under mortal attack and needs to be recalled. Xiao He reported that without Ember's support, Lin Huang was finished. Lin Huang, gasping for breath from the tension, asked Xiao He if 3 minutes had passed, feeling that death was near. At this point, the system reported that the absorption of alien energy was complete. He managed to absorb the power of the energy sphere, but Xiao He warned that this only temporarily weakened the parasite, and it would still not be possible to defeat it. Lin Huang, however, did not lose hope and devised a new plan. After breaking the map, he summoned Bai. Xiao He, in shock, asked if the owner was going to sacrifice the vampire card. Lin Huang ordered 2 promotion cards to be used for a double boost, knowing that this would dramatically change Bai. Xiao Hai explained that the mutation caused by the cards could not be stopped. Even a god could not do it. He praised Lin Huang for his courage, noting that the double advancement would lead to an unusual result. A demon arm began to form from Bai's body, and the system announced that Lin Huang had obtained the epic four-winged blood dragon card. Demonic wings spread around Bai, and his aura became terrifying. Lin Huang, confident in the new monster, ordered him to take revenge on the parasite. Xiao He added that without the foreign energy, the parasite would lose its regeneration, giving them a chance to win. The Ember, having recovered, continued to attack, but Xiao He noticed an alarming sign. The parasite was absorbing the prana of the infected, aiming for the 3rd level of the silver rank. The spores he released continued to infect people, and Xiao He expressed fear that they had reached Xiagong. If the parasite absorbs the life energy of millions, it will complete its bloodstream advancement, becoming invincible. Lin Huang, adamant, said that he had a plan. He ordered Ugolko to cover him, and Baiyu to find the parasite's weak spot. Xiao He called the idea crazy. Approaching the parasite meant death, and defeat meant the death of not only Lin Huang, but also Shing Lling and millions of others. Lin Huang, ready for sacrifices, continued to attack, shouting at the parasite to die. The parasite began to mutate, its form becoming more and more terrifying. Suddenly, one of the red thorns pierced through Lin Huang's body, and he froze, feeling his life leaving him. Lin Huang, waking up in the darkness, could not believe that he had died. He tried to open his eyes and saw Xiao He, Bai, and Ember. Xiao He explained that he had used a healing card at the last moment that Lin Huang had forgotten about. He chuckled and said that he would prefer to die so that everything would end, but then he jumped up, asking about the parasite. Xiao He reported that thanks to his death, the parasite was defeated, and Lin Huang received a new epic card, Demonic Vine. He praised the monsters for their excellent work, deciding that they deserved a rest. After the source was destroyed, the parasite's spores disappeared, and all those infected in Xiaoxia should have recovered. Lin Huang decided to seize the moment and make a double advance for Tyrant, just like he did for Bai earlier. He asked Xiao He about the demonic vine that had 3 skills and 3 more that were not unlocked. The companion explained that Loza is a new type of first-generation monster that only has basic skills. The rest will appear later. However, Lin Huang's monster skill storage is full, and new skills will require combining or deleting existing cards. The system announced that Tyrant had transformed into the epic card Armored Giant, which caused the hero to be delighted. Xiao He advised them to leave quickly. Bai and Tyrant's double advance could attract the attention of excellent hunters. Lin Huang decided not to stay in Xiaoxia but to return to Xiagong to Shing Lling. On the way, he asked what the Servant of God in Bai's chart meant. Xiao He explained that he had rare holy blood flowing through him, giving him access to a holy skill which made Bai unique. Lin Huang was excited about the 3 new epic cards, but he was intrigued by the orb energy that Xiao He had absorbed. She opened the card resurrection function. If a high-rarity monster dies, it can be replaced with a card of the same or lower rarity. An epic card has 3 resurrections. The first is common, the second is rare, and the third is epic. Without a suitable replacement, the card disappears. Since the surroundings were calm, Lin Huang decided to take a rest, but he remembered that he had helped Xiao He absorb the sphere and asked about the reward. Xiao He laughed and said that the request was both meaningless and justified. As a gift, he handed Lin Huang 10 random cards, adding that everything depended on his luck. Lin Huang, who had received 10 random cards to choose from Xiao He, was stunned to see a choice of hundreds of cards in front of him. He wondered why there were so many of them, since the range is usually limited to 18. Xiao He explained that being an iron rank, Lin Huang would receive an expanded selection from the system, which would only increase his chances. Lin Huang wondered whether it would be better to draw a good card from 18 or from 100, but he decided to trust in fate and jokingly turned to the Great Spirits for luck. The result amazed him. A minor destruction card, 2 healing cards, 1 advancement card, and an insight card. He admitted that it was a good catch. The minor destruction card had already proven its power, and the healing cards were indispensable for survival. It's a shame there's only 1 promotion card. With 2, he could have improved the purple-eyed eagle. The insight card was new to him. Xiao He explained that the insight card is consumable and can be used once. It helps overcome difficulties in cultivation, and its effect depends on the talent and authority of the user. Lin Huang was amazed. All 10 cards were powerful and useful, and his luck had clearly turned in his favor. Early in the morning, Lling woke up and was surprised to see her brother. He brought her breakfast, explaining that he had returned at night and did not want to wake her. Lling shared her worries. Bai suddenly disappeared and she couldn't contact him, afraid that he was in trouble. In the morning, the news reported about a superior monster in Shaoxia that was quickly dealt with, and she suspected that Lin Huang was involved. He waved it off, stating that for an iron ranker, fighting a superior monster would be certain death. However, Bai's disappearance coincided with this event, which made Lling wary. Lin Huang asked her not to be distracted, to finish breakfast and get ready for a walk around Shagong, where there were still many interesting places. Lling suddenly refused, suggesting that they stay at home. She reminded that the senior class starts in September, and she needs to focus on her studies and military practice in order to get high scores for admission. Lin Huang, impressed by her maturity, praised his sister for her seriousness, promising to pack her things and buy plane tickets to return home. While Lling was eating, she turned on an interview with a gold-ranked hunter from the 7th Division, ranked 14th in the master rankings and the best among female archers. She said that without wanting to be a burden, one must strive for strength with all one's heart. Lling, inspired, thought that she did not want to remain weak to her brother forever. She dreamed of one day fighting shoulder to shoulder with him, becoming a worthy ally. Lling asked Lin Huang to clean up the apartment, but he found some free time and decided to activate the mission card, hoping that his bad luck had left him. The system congratulated you on your activation. You need to reach the 6th level of military tactics in 30 days. The reward is a healing card, and the penalty for failure is the loss of 1 active card. Lin Huang panicked. He was at level 3, and level 6 required 12,000 fragments. It seemed impossible. Losing a card, especially a minor annihilation one, would be disastrous. He told Lling that he would give her money for food since he would be busy with the mission for the entire month, locked in his room. He needed 800 fragments to reach level 4, but even with his best efforts, a month wouldn't have been enough. Xiao He noticed his despair and suggested a way to speed up the accumulation of fragments, asking if he was ready for the test. Lin Huang, determined, agreed to do anything to save the cards. While concentrating, he was suddenly thrown into the portal by Xiao He and found himself in front of the old teacher, previously seen only in the projection of the ring. Now this was a real person. The old man, without wasting any time, announced that he hoped for his students' readiness and began a one-on-one fight. Lin Huang fought back but was defeated, falling under the blows. He asked if this was the fast-track method and if he died here he would become a vegetable. The teacher told me to get up, think less and fight. In battle, Lin Huang realized that every successful strike would bring a fragment. This was an ideal method for quick collection. Overjoyed, he asked the teacher to continue the attacks, training without stopping. In a few hours, he reached the 5th level of military tactics, collecting thousands of fragments. Exhausted but inspired, he was ready to move on. However, Xiao He warned that 24 days had passed, and for the 6th level, another 4,000 fragments out of 10,000 were needed. There was catastrophically little time. Lin Huang, overcome with fear of failure, realized that the mission was on the verge of failure, and the loss of the valuable map was becoming a real threat. Lin Huang, realizing that he couldn't collect 10,000 fragments for the 6th level of military tactics in the remaining time, knew that the mission was on the verge of failure. Xiao He warned that if he failed, he might lose the minor destruction or insight card. It all depended on luck. Not wanting to rely on chance, Lin Huang decided to use the insight card despite the risks. Xiao He warned, at his iron rank level, the card was dangerous, as the forced acceleration of cultivation would destroy and rebuild the body and soul. The chance of death was high, especially for the weak Lin Huang, who was unable to control such power. But he was sure that he could handle it for 1 level, and insisted on his own. Xiao He, realizing that he would not convince the master, watched as the rotation cycle of military tactics accelerated. Lin Huang suffered, but his progress was astounding. After 4 hours, the system announced that he had reached level 6. However, he didn't stop, continuing to use the inside card despite Xiao Hei's cries for him to stop. His mind went blank and dozens of teachers appeared before him, attacking from all sides. Lin Huang fought back, immersed in an endless battle, but his strength was leaving him. Xiao Hei knew that the main flaw of the inside card was moral breakdown. If Lin Huang's spirit collapses, he will never wake up, no matter how strong he is physically. Lin Huang, exhausted, clung to the thought that he could not die so early and continued to fight. At this time, Lling, who was busy studying, felt something was wrong. The stone in her room shook, emitting a strong aura, and she thought of her brother. At that moment, Lin Huang woke up. Lling ran to his bed and was glad that he had come to his senses. She said the doctor examined him and found no problems other than an unexplained loss of consciousness. Lin Huang, shocked, asked how long he had slept. When he learned that a week had passed, he panicked, fearing that the mission would fail. But the system congratulated him. Not only did he complete the mission by reaching the 6th level of military tactics, but he also exceeded expectations by rising to the 8th level. As a reward, he received a healing card. Lin Huang was jubilant as he reached the 8th level of military tactics with a 96% increase in his stats. The inside card turned out to be a miracle, and Xiao Hei, amazed by its potential, noted that he had withstood its power, although such training would eventually exhaust him. Lin Huang's life force stabilized, and he began to think about advancing to the bronze rank. Choosing a life seed for this rank was more difficult than for iron because of the many bronze monsters. Xiao Hei, after analyzing Lin Huang's attributes and skills, selected 11 suitable monsters, but the choice was still not easy. Lin Huang remembered how Yue Zheng had helped him before and wanted to contact him again, but suddenly Lling called. Yue Xin, with whom they had not communicated for a long time. She asked how he was doing, and he was delighted to say that he was doing well, but that there were questions where her superior rank could help. Lin Yuexin, who never asked unnecessary questions, listened to him. After learning that he was already bronze rank, she was surprised by his progress and analyzed the monster list from Xiao Hei. She noted that most of them are focused on speed and defense, but such skills lose effectiveness at superior rank. Lin Huang asked if his dexterous hands would become useless. Lin Yuexin reassured at the superior rank they will turn into the secret skill demonic hands, which is quite useful. She advised choosing the seed of life, taking into account how it would manifest itself at high ranks. After some thought, she suggested a monster, an ugly puppet, not particularly powerful but difficult to kill due to the ability to replace its body with an artificial one. By killing him, Lin Huang will obtain a psychic-type replacement life seed, limited to 3 uses per day. It saves from deadly attacks, but is less effective than the healing seeds, so it is avoided. However, at the superior rank, Substitute will become the secret skill Scapegoat, allowing one to avoid death up to 9 times a day. Lin Yuexin promised to send the details. Lin Huang thanked her and ended the call, and thought the puppet was perfect for his style. Xiao Hei clarified that it was a 3rd-level bronze immortal species that lived in groups in the misty canyon of the Forgotten Lands, on the 1st level of the immortal Black Abyss, the forbidden zone of the 7th Division. Even the superiors rarely returned from there, and for Lin Huang, a bronze-ranked trash, it was mortally dangerous. Nevertheless, he decided to go there. At this moment, Yin Han called, suggesting the same goal, Misty Canyon, which made Lin Huang wary but strengthened his resolve. In the morning, Lin Huang informed Lling that he was going to Misty Canyon. She was alarmed when, after a week in an unconscious state, he left again. He reminded her that her studies would soon begin, and he had nothing to do at home. Having promised to return in a couple of days, he left money for expenses, told her to behave well, and left. Soon, Lling received $1 million in her account, which calmed her down, but did not relieve her anxiety. Lin Huang went to Misty City, the closest to the canyon, together with Yin Han. The city was teeming with adventurers, hunters, and suspicious characters, making Lin Huang on guard. Yin Han shared that the ugly puppet's life seed, although it didn't seem powerful, would become a life-saving scapegoat secret skill at the superior rank. His father paid a lot of money for this information, and he asked not to spread it. Lin Huang understood why his friend chose Misty Canyon to advance to the bronze rank. but he decided to hide his true strength, not trusting him completely. The path to the canyon lay through the third-level wild zone, a dangerous territory. Yin Han hired a team of adventurers, but Lin Huang noticed that there were some strange people gathered in Misty City, and he had to be careful with them. Suddenly, a message came to the ring from Yin Han. He found the group already moving towards the eastern gate and asked them to hurry. Lin Huang found this suspicious. Why rush so much before evening, risking spending the night in the canyon? Determined to find out the group's intentions, he joined them at the gate. Yin Han explained that the adventurers would take them to the canyon. Lin Huang looked at the team. 3 of them were silver rank, which was alarming. The adventurers, having saddled the dragons, ordered them to leave with an unkind look. Lin Huang suspected something was wrong, but decided to follow them to understand their plans. Overhearing one of them reporting to the boss that Lin Huang was an iron rank Blue Eagle and that they had gotten lucky with the catch, he confirmed his fears. The group was clearly up to no good, rushing to reach the canyon before dark. As Lin Huang expected, a strange smell appeared at the canyon. The adventurers' boss announced that they had delivered them and demanded 30 life crystals, an exorbitant price. Yin Hang, turning pale, admitted that he would not be able to pay, and whispered to his friend that the boss was a master of manipulation, capable of subjugating with words. Lin Huang, on guard, realized that the situation was getting out of control and prepared for the worst. Lin Huang knew that wordsmiths were a rare profession that could curse, control, or even kill with their tongues. But the adventurers, only silver rank with rhinoceroses as mounts, did not inspire fear in him. He asked if it was a robbery, and the team boss confirmed that they either gave the money or they would be killed and thrown into the canyon, taking everything from the dead. Lin Huang suggested a third option. They would leave and he would pretend that nothing had happened, sparing their lives. The adventurers laughed, considering him a brat, and the boss tried to paralyze him with word magic. But the spell didn't work, which stunned them. They thought that the iron rank would not stand against their strength, and did not understand why magic was powerless. Lin Huang chuckled and announced his turn to attack. He summoned Bai, and the 4-winged blood dragon rushed forward, instantly tearing the 2 adventurers apart. The boss, in a panic, couldn't believe how an iron rank could own such a monster. Lin Huang replied that the boss was too stupid to notice that his charms weren't working. At that moment, the boss ran away, hiding behind the rocks. Yin Han, shocked, fell to his knees in reverence. He demanded the truth. Was Lin Huang really an iron rank if he owned a monster that looked like a gold one? Lin Huang explained that Bai was not gold-ranked, but rather a double-mutated one, which made the fat man even more doubtful about his true strength. It got dark, and Lin Huang suggested finding shelter. He didn't believe that the escaped boss would return, but he decided to play it safe. After talking with Bai, he allowed him not to stand guard, but still summoned a demonic vine with red thorns to guard at night. Early in the morning, Yin Han woke up screaming when he saw Lo Zhu and thought they were surrounded by an enemy. Lin Huang calmed him down, explaining that it was his summoned monster for protection. The group moved on, but Lin Huang suddenly stopped. They reached the hideous puppet's lair, but it was empty. The tracks indicated that the monsters had been killed and they were too late. Lin Huang felt uneasy. Someone had gotten ahead of them, and this could mean a new threat in the Misty Canyon. Yin Han, astonished, asked how it could be that the ugly puppets had disappeared. Lin Huang suggested checking the next lair behind the rock, but as expected, it was also empty. As he thought about it, he remembered what Yin Han had said about the dark figure interested in puppets that he had mentioned when he hired the team. Lin Huang guessed who might have gotten ahead of them. At this moment, the adventurer boss who had escaped earlier appeared, bragging about the gold-ranked weapon he had spent his life obtaining. Confident that there was only one puppet lair left in the canyon, he declared that he would deal with it, and the 2 brats would get nothing. The boss, humiliated by their previous meeting, promised to buy a potion in the Misty City and deal with them. Suddenly, a heavy hand of a man in a black hat appeared on his shoulder. The boss froze, unable to move or use the word spell. A girl appeared nearby and ordered the stranger to take the boss away, promising to find him another use. The boss, recognizing them as members of the Purple Crow, begged for mercy, but they did not listen to him. Lin Huang and Yin Han looked around and finally noticed the ugly puppets in the last lair. Yin Han, having looked at the monsters, noticed that their strength was not great, but their numbers were frightening. He was afraid of being surrounded, but Lin Huang ordered him to attack, promising to cover him. Yin Han rushed at the first puppet, cutting off its head, but she disappeared and appeared on the other side, regenerating. Lin Huang immediately intervened, trapping the monster in the demonic vine and shouting at his friend to strike. Yin Han, although exhausted, managed without noticing how Lin Huang was quietly helping to neutralize the threats. After the fight, Lin Huang asked his friend if everything was okay. Yin Han beamed with joy as he announced that he had reached the bronze rank by killing the puppet and obtaining the Seed of Life. He thanked Lin Huang for his support, promising to help if there were any problems, and left, satisfied with the completion of his task. Lin Huang, left alone, prepared for his turn. Deep in the misty canyon, the captured adventurer boss ended up in the hands of the Purple Crow. The commander, confident in her plan, said that she had been creating hellish water for 12 years, and now it was ready. She ordered the boss to be thrown into this red liquid to test its effects. He, screaming in horror, tried to beg for mercy, mentioning the two brats in the canyon, but they didn't listen to him and threw him into the water. Meanwhile, Lin Huang and Bai continued to fight the ugly puppets. The monsters were weak, but their regeneration made the battle tiring. After reaching the bronze rank, Lin Huang noticed that his life wheel had turned bronze, adding 3 white sectors. The wheels of life from the cards also began to change, and the system offered to turn the new Seed of Life replacement into a card. Lin Huang agreed, knowing that although it was weak now, it would become a trump card at the superior rank. Bai, who had reached the first level of the silver rank, had become too strong to show himself to Yin Han. Otherwise, he would expose Lin Huang's true strength. Suddenly, the hero felt a terrifying aura nearby. From afar, he saw the boss, screaming in the hellish water, turn into a mutant with blades instead of hands. The Purple Crow commander, impressed, drank up the remaining red water. Lin Huang watched in stunned silence. The transformation of a man into a monster indicated an unknown magic. He realized that this woman was not an opponent he should mess with now, and decided to run away. But at that moment, a heavy hand of a man in a black hat fell on his shoulder. Lin Huang froze, unable to move. The stranger, Shu Qiang, grabbed him by the neck, ordering him to die. The commander came over and stopped him, calling Lin Huang by name and asking if he had a double-mutated monster. He was surprised how she knew, but she only guessed, feeling Bai's aura. Her presence, as well as Shu Qiang's, was oppressive, both of whom were of excellent rank. The woman introduced herself as Hong Zhuang, an official member of the Purple Crow, an organization equal in influence to the Hunters Association, but ruling in the shadows. Hong Zhuang noted that a bronze hunter with a double-mutated monster was a rare talent. Shu Qiang was surprised. Did she really want to make him a reserve member, since Purple Crow only accepts gold rank and above? Hong Zhuang countered such potential was rare, and in the future Lin Huang could become a valuable ally or a threat. She gave them an ultimatum: join them or die. He agreed and woke up in the camp the next morning. The manager explained that he had been recommended by Hong Zhuang for the reserve team, but he could only become part of it if he survived the 3-month trial. Despite the patronage, they did not promise any conveniences, although they would try to save his life if he did not create problems. Lin Huang demanded the return of the ring and an explanation for the lack of communication, but he was interrupted by his cellmate, who hit him and told him to shut up. Otherwise, he would sign his own death warrant. The guy introduced himself as Xiao Mo and explained that the rings and communication devices were turned off here, isolating them from the outside world. After 3 months, most of them come out of here dead. Lin Huang was surprised. Aren't the strongest brought here? Xiao Mo said that many people came voluntarily, but it was impossible to escape. The perimeter was surrounded by traps that killed instantly, and the guards and manager were of excellent rank. Realizing that he had no choice, Lin Huang thanked Xiao Mo for the explanation, hoping to make friends, and quickly fell asleep, preparing for the tests. In the morning, everyone was released into the courtyard of the training tower that Xiao Mo had spoken of. He explained that the tower offers floors from iron to gold rank, where you can fight monsters, hone your techniques, improve your abilities, and earn points. Points affect the ranking, and every week the 3 with the lowest scores are publicly executed. Lin Huang found information on the local network, Points can be spent on equipment, food, combat skills, and life seeds. A high rating gave a significant advantage, strengthening the fighters. While breakfast was being served, a player approached Xiao Mo, pushed him, and accused him of having a low rating. He declared that Xiao Mo would not live for a week and was not worthy of food. Lin Huang grabbed the aggressor's hand, demanding an apology from his friend. The attacker, mocking the newcomer, tried to threaten him, but Lin Huang began to break his arm. The crowd parted as Gong Sunying, the second-ranked player, appeared. He asked if the newcomer wanted to break the rules. Lin Huang replied that the rules that eat the weak are suitable for beasts, and he is a human. At this point, the manager intervened, ordering everyone to move forward under threat of punishment. Xiao Mo apologized and said that it was because of him that Lin Huang got into a conflict with Gong Sunying. Lin Huang reassured him, saying that the clash was inevitable and promised to teach his friend how to survive. Lin Huang found himself on the 6th floor of the training tower, ready for the test. The rules were simple: kill monsters and take their points. The monsters were probably teleported here rather than created, and death in the tower meant death in reality. The fights were more like a meat grinder than training. Lin Huang called Bai and ordered him to attack. Although the four-winged blood dragon could handle even level 10 monsters, Lin Huang focused on level 3 bronze monsters that were ideal for accumulating life energy. His wheel of life, linked to Bai, allowed him to continuously absorb energy. He fought 8 hours a day, and by the 3rd day the 3 wheels of life had almost reached the 6th circle. In 3 days, Lin Huang and Bai destroyed about 4,000 bronze monsters, collecting over 160,000 points. This allowed him to take 300th place in the rankings, an impressive result for a newcomer who came a month later than others. Unexpectedly, Li Zihao, the same guy he encountered on the first day, challenged him to a fight for points. Lin Huang was surprised. Li Zihao, who was higher in the rankings, was clearly used to taking points from the weak. By refusing to duel, Lin Huang provoked his opponent, who initiated a fight to the death that began seconds later. Everyone around thought the outcome was a foregone conclusion. Li Zihao was stronger. Li Zihao, confident of victory, declared that in a normal challenge he would have taken half of the points, but now he would kill Lin Huang and take everything. Lin Huang prepared himself without flinching. Li Zihao rushed forward with incredible speed, but Lin Huang, having anticipated the attack, instantly counterattacked, striking the enemy with one blow. Li Zihao collapsed, unable to believe that he had lost. Gong Sunying, the second-ranked, intervened, demanding that the defeated one be finished off, citing the rules of the tower. Lin Huang asked if Gong Sunying really wanted his henchman to die. He insisted that the rules were inviolable. Lin Huang objected. Rules are made by people and can be changed. Refusing to kill, he turned around to leave. At this moment, Gong Sunying threw chains around Li Zihao's neck, killing him instantly. Looking coldly at Lin Huang, he stated that he had finished the fight himself, but he hated those who broke the rules. He warned that next time he would personally kill Lin Huang for disobeying him. Xiao Mo, frightened, explained to Lin Huang that Gong Sunying, being silver-ranked and close to gold, was extremely dangerous. Provoking him would bring disaster. Lin Huang asked why Xiao Mo chose Purple Crow instead of the Hunter Association, since he was an iron rank and could have become a reserve member. Xiao Mo confessed that he was a sinner born from the union of a woman and a humanoid monster. The world government does not tolerate people like him. Although the killing of sinners had stopped, they were considered monsters, and Xiao Mo had no other path but the Purple Crow. After apologizing for his silence, he thanked Lin Huang for his concern, but added that the rankings would be announced soon and he would probably be executed. He had borrowed the life crystals and would not be able to return them. Lin Huang suggested that Xiao Mo challenge him to admit defeat and hand over some of his points, moving up in the rankings. Xiao Mo objected. Purposefully losing was against the rules, and Gong Sunying would punish him. Lin Huang, without backing down, declared that he was willing to deal with the problems and asked if Xiao Mo really wanted to die in this place. After being convinced, Xiao Mo challenged him to a fight and admitted defeat 3 minutes before the ratings were calculated. This allowed him to score 5,000 points, move up several places, and avoid execution. However, another participant who spent money on glasses now finds himself in danger of death. Lin Huang reassured Xiao Mo, telling him to go to the training tower after lunch, use the crystals, and not lose points. But Gong Sun Ying, having figured out their plan, accused Lin Huang of cheating, claiming that he had lost on purpose in order to hand over the points. Lin Huang pretended not to understand what was going on. Gong Sun Ying, reminding him of his warning, called him a bronze-ranked, impudent man who was tired of living. Lin Huang retorted Gong Sun Ying was barely holding on to second place, and the 2 months of testing would be in vain if he got involved with him. The participants whispered, thinking that the newcomer was impudent. Gong Sun Ying wanted to challenge, but the manager intervened, demanding that the disorder be stopped. He reminded Lin Huang that Hong Zhuang's patronage did not exempt him from the rules, and he could not be accused of cheating for losing. The manager ordered everyone to disperse, forbidding any unnecessary fights. Gong Sun Ying, holding back his anger, thought that he had many ways to get rid of Lin Huang in the camp, regardless of his backers. Lin Huang, unable to restrain himself, challenged Gong Sun Ying to a fight to the death, deciding to put everything on the line. Lin Huang, having challenged Gong Sun Ying to a fight to the death, heard from the manager that he was condemning himself to death. Gong Sun Ying smirked and said that Lin Huang himself opened the gates of hell and should not blame him for his death. Lin Huang responded in kind, recognizing him as a worthy opponent. Releasing Bai, he ordered the demon to attack. Gong Sun Ying counterattacked with his chains, but a gold-ranked defense appeared in front of Bai. The demon moved so fast that Gong Sun Ying couldn't keep up with it. In an instant, Bai snuck up on his opponent, and he collapsed without having time to react. Lin Huang laughed, noting that he had expected more from Gong Sun Ying. The crowd gasped when they learned that Lin Huang's monster had mutated twice. The manager, after ordering everyone to disperse, understood why Hong Zhuang had recommended him to Purple Crow. He ordered Lin Huang to return to his cell and stop the disturbance. He replied that he would return as soon as he finished his business, which surprised the manager, who noticed that even after the victory, Lin Huang did not leave the corpse alone. In the cell, Lin Huang asked Xiao He about the talent card. He thought that talent was only given by the life seeds of monsters. Xiao He explained that talent can be inherited by a person in rare cases due to various reasons, which led to its premature acquisition. The card gave Lin Huang an additional skill, increasing his rank and number of summons. Xiao Mo was shocked and couldn't believe that his friend had defeated Gong Sun Ying in a second. Lin Huang explained that it was because of Bai's strength. With him, he could destroy everyone in the camp. But he chose not to brag and headed to the exchange office. There he learned that bronze equipment costs 110,000 points, silver, 100,000, gold, 1,000,000, and a relic, 100 million, and is only available once. Lin Huang chose a modified pistol for 80,000 points, 3 times more powerful than a normal one. Other modified items cost up to 1,000,000. Having spent 2,000,000 points, he lost all his savings. But he did not regret it. Such a weapon cannot be bought in the city. Returning to the camera, he noticed a group of players near Xiao Mo. Their gazes betrayed the intention to avenge Gong Sun Ying, and Lin Huang prepared for another fight. Lin Huang, who was expecting an attack, was stunned when the players at the camera offered friendship and acknowledged him as the boss. He killed Gong Sun Ying, and this impressed them. Lin Huang cautiously agreed and expressed his joy at meeting them, but he doubted their intentions. The new allies assured that they only wanted to establish contact, because they could all become members of the Purple Raven. As a sign of sincerity, one of them, upon learning of Lin Huang's love for blades, gave him a sword skill created by his father, but which did not suit him. He called them future brothers in arms, urging them to take care of each other. Lin Huang accepted the gift, promising to help if they needed anything, but he suspected that the interest was not only due to his victory, but also due to his connection with Hong Zhuang. Xiao Mo was happy for his friend. Lin Huang became famous. People brought him treats and tried to make friends with him. While examining the gifted storage ring from Wang Feng's ally, Lin Huang discovered 3,000 life crystals, equivalent to 30 billion credits. Xiao He called it a generous gift, but the main treasure was the wild flame sword skill created by the master 300 years ago. Over the course of 7 years, the master combined sword techniques to make the skill rare. By collecting the fragments, Lin Huang could raise it to epic rarity without any promotion cards. Along with great devastation, he would have 2 epic sword skills. Xiao He reminded him that the main goal was to escape from the camp before the end of the 3 months, not to practice the sword. And Lin Huang must not get involved with Purple Crow. Xiao Mo came up and said gloomily that he wouldn't get out alive. Lin Huang asked how the camp disposed of corpses. Xiao Mo explained that the bodies were thrown into the deep abyss behind the camp, where terrifying monsters lived to devour the remains. The corpses of noble families were taken by the stewards, waiting for relatives to confirm the cause of death. Lin Huang realized that because of Hong Zhuang, his body would not be thrown away, but would wait for her inspection. But the risk of Purple Crow tracking him down made his escape difficult. Until a solution was found, he decided to continue training in the training tower, hoping to find a map that could help. In the tower, having cut off the connection between the life wheels, Lin Huang fought the silver-ranked monsters, relying on Bai. Even such opponents could not defeat his demon, but they turned out to be stronger than he expected. He fought back, trying to accumulate points and rewards, but he felt like every fight brought him closer to either freedom or another Purple Crow trap. Lin Huang got deception and emission cards by defeating a silver-ranked monster, and 20 cards from the double loot card for 10 cross-ranked kills. He had 600 silver-ranked card fragments in his stockpile. He asked Xiao He to appraise the loot. Among the cards, 2 stood out. One allowed combining skills of the same type to move to a new level, the other sealing a monster of the owner's level into the card if it was in sight. It was possible to seal a monster of any combat power, but not higher than epic rarity. Even a demigod could be captured if the rarity was acceptable, although the monster's combat power would then be adjusted to the master's level. The emission card, used once, created an illusion as if he was filming a movie, where the authenticity depended on Lin Huang's skill. He realized that with a good script, he could disappear from the camp without a trace. The system suggested activating 2 cards of the vital energy storage, adding 2 wheels of life, but suddenly launched a chain of missions. The first one was to become top 1 in the ranking in 7 days. The second one was to quietly leave the camp 3 days after the first one. Lin Huang, calling himself a loser, was upset, but decided to take action. The observers in the camp, noticing him on the floor with gold-ranked monsters, were surprised by his determination. They whispered that it was natural for Hong Zhuang's chosen one to be number 1 in the rankings, and decided to keep an eye on him, reporting any changes to the manager. Lin Huang, while fighting the monsters, ordered Xiao He to activate the combination card, combining the skills Light Breathing and Change Treatment. The process was successful, and he received an advanced camouflage card, the perfect escape tool. Having killed another monster with a blow to the skull, he thought. Xiao He asked if he was going to run away. Lin Huang suggested using the promotion cards to upgrade the life seed substitute to the secret skill Scapegoat. Xiao He warned, the first upgrade would increase the usage from 3 to 9 per day. The second would turn it into a death cheat, allowing one to avoid death once. Lin Huang, confident in his idea, ordered 3 promotion cards to be used to strengthen the substitute as much as possible. He developed an ingenious strategy combining advanced camouflage, death cheating, and an emission card. He could have faked his death and escaped, leaving Purple Crow in the dark. His determination and cunning promised to outwit even the camp guards. Lin Huang, after spending 7 million points on the modified pistol, explained to Xiao Mo that points were only valuable in the training camp and were useless outside of it. He exchanged all his savings without regret and asked Xiao Mo if the life crystals he gave him were enough. Lin Huang encouraged his friend not only to survive but also to become stronger. He emphasized that the Purple Crow is not the only path, and the outside world is full of possibilities. Xiao Mo, a sinner by birth, should not suffer because of prejudice. Surprised, Xiao Mo asked if Lin Huang was saying goodbye. He replied that he was going to train, but they would meet again, leaving hope for the future. Lin Huang activated the minor deception card, starting to film his movie. The camp's surveillance department gasped when they saw him fighting second-tier gold-ranked monsters on the training tower floor. Even for him, it was suicide. The manager, alarmed, rushed to the tower, hoping to save Hong Zhuang's ward, knowing that her wrath would be terrible if Lin Huang died. In the midst of the battle, the monster bit Lin Huang on the neck and he collapsed. The manager, bursting in, saw his body and activated the lasers that destroyed the monsters, but realized that he was too late. He ordered to contact Hong Zhuang, informing him of the boy's death. Lin Huang, watching from behind, was jubilant. The minor deception card worked perfectly. The fake corpse, fake aura, ring and equipment deceived everyone. The effect of the card lasted for a month, giving him time to change his name and appearance. Hong Zhuang, upon arriving at the camp, furiously scolded the manager, calling him a worthless person for his failure. He, begging for mercy, swore that he had checked the body and that there was no chance of error. The deception map turned out to be a masterpiece, hiding Lin Huang even from the perceptive Hong Zhuang. All that remained was to complete the mission by leaving the camp unnoticed. Using his ghost form, Lin Huang made his way towards the exit, but he noticed a crying Xiao Mo being consoled by another player. His heart sank, but he knew his friend was in good hands. There were good people in the Purple Raven, despite their dark reputation. Finally getting out, Lin Huang received congratulations. The mission was accomplished. As a reward, he received 2 promotion cards. Freedom was in his hands, but new trials lay ahead, with a new name and a new appearance. Lin Huang, having found himself on the western outskirts of the 7th Division, realized that the city of Baki, the nearest major point, was a long way off. The city of Daxi, under the control of the Purple Crow, was closer, but without an airship, the journey to Baki would take 10 months. It was too long, and using the old identity was fraught with exposure. The first step was to forge an ID, otherwise you wouldn't even be able to get a hotel room. There must be a master in Daxi who can create a fake, but it is dangerous to go there openly. Lin Huang decided to use an advanced disguise. Xiao He condemned the idea of turning into a girl, and Lin Huang limited himself to changing his appearance, changing his hair color, growing a beard, and changing his physique. In Dashi, he was met by a stranger who heard him mutter about a fake identity. Having confirmed his intention, Lin Huang followed him to the master's house. He introduced himself and announced the price: 100 life crystals, no bargaining, only crystals, no credits or fragments. For a monster hunter's identity, not just a hotel, the price was higher. Lin Huang calculated that 100 crystals were equivalent to 1,000 fragments or 1 billion credits. The amount was huge, but the master assured that he had made IDs even for elite members of the Purple Crow, and the quality would justify the price. Entering the capsule, Lin Huang chose a name, Ye Shu. The machine generated the data, and soon he was holding a new ID. After checking, he was satisfied and transferred 100 crystals. The deal went smoothly, and both parties were happy. Suddenly, Lin Huang noticed a soccer ball in the corner, a strange thing in this world. The master explained that he made it by hand for personal play, to remember his native land, to which he can never return. Yeshu, astonished, began to suspect that this master might be a traveler like him. With a new name and ID, Yeshu prepared for the next step, to reach Baki without leaving the Purple Crow's secret. But the master's words about the homeland did not leave his mind. The master, who called himself Yang Lling, wondered if Yeshu needed anything else. He, wary, decided that now was not the time for new acquaintances. Not knowing whether the master was a friend or an enemy, he limited himself to an introduction, writing down Yang Ling's name in case of future favors. Master promised that if Yeshu defeated a superior-ranked monster, he would create a personality for him that everyone would respect. After saying goodbye, Yeshu left the basement and headed to the second-level wild zone on the outskirts of Daxi. Returning to his normal form, he fought monsters, collecting fragments of the wild flame sword skill. He already had 400 fragments and thought about combining them into a skill card. Xiao He cooled his ardor. The fragments are not enough. Lin Huang was not upset. Even without the full skill, he mastered a technique that is not inferior to thunder. Xiao He asked how long he would remain in the zone, reminding him of his return to Baki. The spatial portal, although more expensive than an aircraft, will reduce the journey to 12 days in Daxi, 21 days in the 7A28 Citadel, and 2 days in another citadel before Baki. The portal will open in 10 days, and the guy decided to stay in Dashi to prepare. Suddenly, Bai launched a furious attack. He suspected an ambush, but it turned out to be worse. The eye of the abyss opened and monsters rained down from the sky. The city's defenses held them back, but the inhabitants were panicking. The abyss was too close. A group of adventurers were discussing the situation. One of them reported that the Purple Crow guard boss had gone on the attack and offered to join in. Another countered that this was Raven territory, and interfering would expose their identities, ruining the mission. Their leader, Zhou Qian, reminded her colleague Liang Song of priorities, but the third adventurer insisted that the safety of the people was more important. Zhou Qian sighed and agreed, but threatened Liang Song to rewrite the Hunter's Code 100 times for arguing. The situation worsened, and superior rank monsters emerged from the eye. Liang Song, judging their size, guessed that they were either a demon or a heavenly dragon. Zhou Qian added that the dragon was capable of destroying everyone except the boss guard. The monsters attacked, but the defenders fought back. The guard was informed of a superior monster and decided to fight, hoping that it was not an immortal species, otherwise trouble would be inevitable. An adventurer from Zhou Qian's team suddenly exclaimed that the monster was an immortal species. He asked if the Purple Crow Guard had a chance, because even at the cost of his life he had to save people. Lin Huang, watching the guard, asked Xiao He if he was capable of defeating the superior monster. Xiao He explained, "The Guardian, as the leader of the city, is also of the superior level, and would easily deal with an ordinary monster. But the immortal appearance makes everything difficult." In addition, Xiao He sensed a catch. Liang Song and Zhou Qian's team noticed that the monster, despite its size, moved frighteningly fast. The Guardian attacked him with the lightning sword skill, killing him in one blow. Everyone gasped, thinking the fight was over, but the adventurers' commander shouted that they had fallen into a trap. At the last moment, when the monster died, something attacked the guard. Nobody understood what had happened. Lin Huang asked Xiao He who was attacking the city. He explained that the dragon was an illusion created by a real monster, a three-eyed ghost, whose power allowed it to generate deceptions of such a scale. His attacks were devastating, and he might not be alone. Zhou Qian and Liang Song argued they wanted to fight, but they were too weak. The commander ordered an end to the argument, pointing to the guard, who, alive and furious, demanded that the monster appear. The Guardian, concentrating his energy into a sword technique, released a powerful blow, revealing the three-eyed ghost as the source of the illusion. His anger frightened even the main character. The residents froze, not understanding who killed the monster in a second. It was not the guard. A masked stranger appeared before the crowd, declaring that the people had worked hard, but now it was their time to die. His aura was overwhelming, and his intentions were clear: to destroy everyone. Zhou Qian admired the captain, not expecting that he destroyed the three-eyed ghost with one blow. The captain, however, dismissed it as luck. The Purple Crow Guardian, surprised by the presence of another excellent fighter in his small area, asked if their team was from the Hunters Association. The captain suggested postponing the conversation until the monsters were destroyed. But then a masked stranger intervened, mockingly. 4 warriors of the Sacred Flame level hid in the citadel, but this would not save them from death. Zhou Qian flared up and was indignant. There were 4 of them and 3 in the monster's team. The stranger, noticing her bold nature and sweet face, suddenly attacked. The adventurers stood up to defend themselves, but the monster disappeared. Zhou Qian screamed as he grabbed her body. She began to fight the captain, who shouted at her to fight the inner demon and not let the monster subdue her. The monster, speaking from her body, stated that the mask made him invulnerable. The situation reached a dead end. Physical attacks had no effect on the ghost, and the guard could not break through his defense. Liang Song, shooting back at the 4-winged demons, wasted his energy, unable to keep up with their speed. Lin Huang, watching, realized that the outcome of the battle depended on the captain, the only one who could turn the tide. The guard begged the captain to find a way to stop Zhou Qian, otherwise everyone would die. The captain turned to the girl and said that inaction would lead to the death of Liang Song and the guard, guaranteeing defeat. After asking her for forgiveness, he rushed forward and pierced her body with his sword. Lin Huang was amazed by the captain's strength. Xiao He confirmed that he had destroyed the superior monster with one blow, driving out the 3-eyed ghost. Zhou Qian, falling into the captain's arms, asked for forgiveness, but he consoled her that it was not her fault and ordered her to rest. The masked stranger, having changed his body, mocked the captain for his cruelty, asking if he felt sorry for the girl. The captain, blazing with anger, replied that he had not felt such rage for a long time. The monster, laughing, asked to guess who he would transform into now, preparing for a new attack. The captain fought the phantom clown, a masked monster. He demanded that the creature finally die, but the monster mockingly offered to guess who he had become now. Transforming into Liang Song, the clown opened fire with a pistol at the Purple Crow guard. The guard, Ziyu, took cover under a protective ball, but every shot destroyed his mythical relic. Ciu, burning with determination, declared that he would not allow the monsters to wreak havoc, even at the cost of his life. Lin Huang was amazed. The guard was a real hero. Xiao He, however, noticed that Zieu's attack could not finish off the superior monster. The ghost clown, in a good mood, offered the captain a chance to fight face-to-face. The captain, feeling a weak flow of energy, suspected something was wrong. Fighting back, he knocked the monster out of Liang Song's body. The ghost clown praised him, but warned that if he did anything, the captain would have killed his protégé. The captain demanded the rules of the game. The monster explained, "Defeat 2 superior monsters, and he will give a one-on-one fight. In case of defeat, the captain and his comrades will die, and the citadel will not see tomorrow." The adventurers, shocked, realized that refusing the challenge was tantamount to death. Ziyu had already sacrificed himself, and hopes were fading. Xiao He whispered to Lin Huang that even the strongest superior hunter would not be able to handle 3 such monsters at once, and advised him to prepare to escape. But the captain accepted the challenge without flinching. He fought on equal terms, creating a fireball from which dozens of swords erupted, piercing one of the superior monsters. Looking at the ghost clown, he demanded that he keep his promise. The monster grinned as he prepared for the final battle, and Lin Huang held his breath, knowing that the fight would decide the fate of everyone. Ghost Clown admitted that he was not mistaken about Captain Zhu Nian, calling him an interesting opponent. He refused to take over his body, considering it too easy, and decided to first assess his strength. The eye of the abyss flared, and a vortex swirled in the sky, revealing a well of light. A golden glow illuminated Zhu Nian, and his aura changed the weather, causing a storm. Lin Huang was astonished and couldn't believe how a superior sacred flame warrior could do such a thing. His fighting ability, close to the level of immortality, seemed unrivaled. But the clown remained calm even as Zhu Nian began to evaporate into thin air, dodging attacks with incredible speed. Liang Song and Zhou Qian gasped. The captain avoided 3,000 strikes in an instant. Zhu Nian, burning with anger, realized that Clown was not just a superior monster, but a leader equal to the human level of immortality. He led them by the nose, never calling himself a commander, and they themselves were mistaken. Lin Huang, after asking Xiao He, found out that the monster commander corresponded to the sacred flame, and the chieftain to the level of immortality. The situation became catastrophic. Zhu Nian, despite his strength, knew that in the Hunter Association, only the supreme rulers of immortality could stand up to the chieftain. His chances were slim. The clown mockingly asked if the captain wanted to escape, promising not to kill him, but not guaranteeing the safety of the townspeople. Zhu Nian firmly stated that as long as he was alive, the monster would not touch people. In order to destroy the city, the clown would have to kill him. The crowd admired his courage, but the monster, calling the people fools, declared the game over. Releasing the serpent, he summoned a horde of dozens of monster commanders and millions of creatures. Xiao He warned that the leader would gather an army capable of wiping out a B-class citadel in minutes. Lin Huang had better run. But Lin Huang had a daring plan. He ordered Xiao He to use the seal card on Clown. The card, one-time use and irreversible, could seal an epic rarity monster, even a chieftain, adjusting its power to the master's level. Lin Huang didn't want Zhu Nian and the townspeople to die in vain, and was willing to take the risk. By activating the card, he sealed the ghost clown, who had undergone 2 mutations. Everyone froze, not understanding what had happened. The sealing was completed, and the system congratulated. Lin Huang received the epic monster card, Ghost Clown. Everyone in Dashi rejoiced. The ghost clown was destroyed, his horde was gone, and the city was saved. No one knew who did it, because Lin Huang had secretly used the seal card. Looking at the new ghost clown card, he learned its 6 skills. After being sealed, the monster's combat power was limited to Lin Huang's level, exceeding it by only 1 rank. Now the clown was silver level. Remembering the empty slot, Lin Huang asked Xiao He to extract the skill. Luck smiled upon him. He obtained the control mask that copies the face of anyone in sight. Wearing the mask gave complete control over the owner of the face, but with limitations depending on the strength of the target. There were still people from the Purple Crow and Hunters Association in the city who could handle the aftermath, so Lin Huang decided not to interfere. He went to the suburbs to kill time until the portal opened. Xiao He praised his growth, but reminded him to practice the seed of life. Lin Huang asked him to explain the levels of commanders, chieftains, sacred flames, and immortality. Xiao He said that superior, a general term for the 3 levels below demigod, sacred flame, immortality, and emperor, corresponding to the monster commanders, chieftains, and kings. Sacred flame is achieved when the life force allows the flame of life to be ignited by killing a commander monster. This process is dangerous. 90% die or lose their abilities if the body can't handle it. Successful ones increase their lifespan to 1,800 years. The flame of life has 5 colors: white, red, blue, purple, gold. Captain Jun Yan, gold level, was stronger than all the transcendentals Lin Huang had met. Lin Huang, remembering the ghost clown, asked about the leaders and immortality. Xiao He explained that to reach the level of immortality, you need to kill a monster chief, extract its soul, and burn it, creating a lamp of life. A maximum of 9 lamps, each gives 360 years, extending life to 3,000 years. The Emperor level requires killing a monster king and creating a palace of life from its foundation. Once you master these levels, you can become a demigod. Lin Huang, impressed by Jun Yan's strength to kill millions of monsters, set a goal to master all levels and reach the level of a half-god. A few days later, the portal opened and Lin Huang left the Purple Crow Zone, arriving at Peaceful City, a Class A stronghold that was lively and comfortable. In the crowd, he was pushed by a young thief who had stolen from a cellar. Lin Huang grabbed him, suggesting that they discuss everything peacefully. The seller got angry and told me not to meddle in other people's business. Lin Huang chuckled and replied that sticking his nose everywhere was his hobby, preparing to resolve the conflict. Lin Huang, faced with the enraged salesman, fought back when he attacked with his fists. Approaching the thief boy, he rebuked the shopkeeper. It was not nice to hurt children, and hitting them was even worse. Asking the boy's name, Lin Huang was surprised to hear 327. When asked about his name, the boy repeated 327. Not knowing where his family or home were, and not wanting to leave the child on the street when it got dark, Lin Huang offered to spend the night in his room, promising to find his family in the morning. Continuing to train in the room, Lin Huang obtained the final fragment of the Wild Flame Sword skill. After accumulating 1,000 fragments, he combined them into a rare value skill card. Xiao He explained that this skill surpassed the gold rank and would remain useful even at the transcendence level. By collecting more fragments, Lin Huang will be able to upgrade it to epic rarity without a promotion card. When asked if fragments would be awarded for using the skill, Xiao He clarified that this would require creating custom moves based on the Wild Flame Sword. If they match the Tao of the sword, the state of fusion between man and technique, the fragments will be added. It is difficult for Lin Huang to comprehend the Tao of the sword with his current abilities, and he will have to train for a long time. Suddenly, 327 entered the room and began to imitate Lin Huang's movements. Having seen them only once, the boy perfectly reproduced the technique. Astonished, Lin Huang called him over, calmed him down, and offered to train together, handing him a bamboo stick instead of a sword. 327, swinging the bamboo, mastered the movements flawlessly, and Lin Huang realized that the boy was not copying, but creating a technique that corresponded to the Tao of the sword. After repeating his movement, Lin Huang obtained a new skill fragment. In his delight, he declared 327 his own brother and suggested that they continue. Their friendship grew stronger. In the 20 days before the portal opened, Lin Huang trained hard with 327, obtaining fragment after fragment. After accumulating 3,000 fragments, he upgraded the Wild Flame Sword to epic rarity, obtaining the second epic skill after Great Desolation. Pleased, he praised himself for his progress. At this point, 327 approached and timidly asked if he had now become unnecessary. Lin Huang, touched by his words, realized that the boy was afraid of being abandoned, and their connection became more important to him than any skills. Lin Huang, hearing Lin Xuan's words about being useless, objected. He entered the boy's information into the network to find his relatives, and until then he would take care of him. He gave him the name Lin Xuan and declared him his younger brother and his sister Shing Lling, his older sister. Back home in Baki, Lin Huang introduced the boy to Shing Lling. She, still angry because of her brother's long silence, saw Lin Xuan and jokingly asked if he was his son. Lin Huang told him not to talk nonsense, explaining that he had posted the boy's details online and was waiting for a response from his family. Finally, he could take a rest. After activating the Empire's ring that was disabled due to the escape, Lin Huang discovered numerous messages. Yin Han called the most. After calling, he learned that his friend was worried. A warrior had appeared in the Misty Canyon and killed many, and Yin Han wanted to make sure that Lin Huang was alive. The one who had not encountered anything like this asked directly about the reason for the calls. Yin Han, dejected, said that his father died from overwork. As an ordinary person, he spent tens of times more energy on work, and there was no time to save him. Reminding his friend that the official hunter exams would begin in December, Yin Han urged him to prepare and pass the first time, regretting that he himself would not be able to participate. Lin Huang thought about it. Ordinary people and those with superpowers are equally striving for the goal. Determined not to let his friend down, he focused on training. Having reached the 8th level of military tactics, he began to master the fatal technique. In the training space, dozens of teachers attacked him, but Lin Huang, who had been hardened by encounters with strong opponents, was confident that perseverance and patience would help him overcome any wall. One day he will become equal to the mighty hunters. After collecting 600 fatal technique fragments, he combined them into a skill card. The system congratulated him. Lin Huang received a rare melee card, increasing his chances of becoming an official hunter. Suddenly, Shing Ling's scream caused him to rush towards her. He was afraid that she was hurt, but he saw Lin Xuan chewing raw meat. A boy with no name or family, a master of swordsmanship, behaved strangely. Lin Huang suspected that if there was aggression, he would have to be eliminated for the sake of his sister's safety. But when Shing Ling scolded Lin Xuan, he burst into tears and hugged her. She apologized for being harsh, and Lin Huang, frightened by his reaction, realized that he had gone too far. Deciding that he could leave the two of them alone and focus on the exam, he felt relieved, but a shadow of doubt about Lin Xuan's nature remained. Shing Ling assured Lin Huang that she would take care of Lin Xuan, would not leave him hungry, and everything would be fine. But Lin Huang was still worried as he went to Beishuan City for the Hunter Association exam. His thoughts were occupied not only with caring for his sister and the boy, but also with his own trials. The exam began, and the chief examiner, Xu Jinpeng, announced that the preliminary stage was over. He began to read out the names of those who had passed the selection, causing surprise among the participants. Xu explained that those who tried to buy information about the competition online, deserted from group battles, posted unwanted comments, or were late after 8 in the morning would be disqualified. He ordered the others to follow him. Lin Huang, having passed the selection, noted the strictness of Xu's methods. The second examiner, Zhuo Lin, congratulated the survivors, but noted that Xu had missed too many and would have to reduce the number of participants by more than 50%. The second stage task sounded simple. Find one of 5,000 time crystals hidden throughout the city within 48 hours. The crystal, which looked like amber resin or plastic, had no crystalline structure. Zhuo gave a hint to look in the grass. Lin Huang found the task suspiciously difficult and became suspicious of the examiner's behavior. Relaxing, he explained to Xiao He that he had searched the city beforehand with the demonic vine, checking every blade of grass, including the artificial ones, and even the cleaning product company to no avail. Deciding to wait until darkness, he headed to the black market. The hunter's exam tests not only strength but also resourcefulness. To become a hunter, you must think like a hunter. Xiao He, who looked like a dog, could help in the search. At the bar, Lin Huang ordered a glass of black wine, hinting at information. The bartender asked for over 1 billion credits. Lin Huang didn't hesitate to say the code word grass. The bartender, delighted, handed over the letter, assuring that the information was worth the money and suggested that he come again. Lin Huang interrupted, asking if anyone had come in for similar information. The bartender admitted that an unfriendly man had come in an hour ago and asked the same question. Lin Huang turned around and walked away, clutching the letter. He had the ghost clown mask in his hand and a sly smile on his face. Lin Huang thought the herb the examiner mentioned was the drug ZC produced in Beishuan. Xiao He explained that ZC is created by people with complete control over their life force. An ordinary person would die from a gram, and even masters risk damage to their brain and organs. According to black market sources, ZC was developed by a pharmacist from the Hunters' College who left and built Gießen Castle. The castle is guarded by 3 excellent warriors, 3 gold hunters, and more than 30 silver ones. Xiao Hai was doubtful. For a bronze rank like Lin Huang, this was too difficult a task. The exam probably tests not only information gathering but also teamwork skills. Under the tree, Lin Huang noticed a girl following him from the black market. She introduced herself as Xia Yu, a participant in the exam, and probably the one the bartender mentioned. Without seeming dangerous, she proposed an alliance. Lin Huang distracts the guards of Gießen Castle. She gets inside. The spoils are divided 70/30ths in his favor. The castle is full of traps, and even the gold rank cannot break through without alarm. Lin Huang smiled and noted her prudence, but suspected that she wanted to steal a lot of ZC. Xia Yu admitted that there are hundreds of life crystals on the ZC black market, and the greedy are ready to give everything. But Lin Huang refused. The drug was dangerous. He would not sell it for money and would prefer to destroy it. He doesn't need an assistant, he can handle it alone. Xia Yu, angry, called him naive, didn't understand what he was doing, and promised that he would regret it. Lin Huang ignored it and headed towards the house by the castle. There were no traps except for the mechanical bugs. Using the transformation card, he could become a ghost and get inside, but the cameras remained a problem. Suddenly, someone called out to him. It was Bai Yan, the owner of the Crimson Eagle that Lin Huang had killed in the first stage. Bai Yan, burning with anger, accused him of damaging his reputation and trying to steal ZC. He was waiting for this moment to beat Lin Huang half to death, make him beg for mercy, and prove who the true hero was. Lin Huang looked at Bai Yan with a mocking expression, wondering how he could think that he had forgotten him. Bai Yan, who had cowardly fled when he saw the horde of monsters in the first stage, had passed the selection. Could it be because of his family connections? Bai Yan, enraged by his words, lashed out, threatening to kill Lin Huang even if it meant being blacklisted by the association. Lin Huang took out his sword and suggested hand-to-hand combat. They grappled, exchanging blows and insults. Lin Huang called his opponent a coward, showing his superiority. While fending off the attacks, he cut Bai Yan's magic spear in half. He, stunned, did not believe that this was possible. Lin Huang explained that while Bai Yan wasted his time on nonsense, he was training hard, which created a gap between them. There were few hunters and he had no enmity, so he asked if Bai Yan was sure he wanted to continue. He, anticipating defeat, especially if he summoned a monster, hesitated. Lin Huang advised against wasting energy on meaningless fights, noting Bai Yan's talent and hope for a future fair duel. Recalling Captain Junyan, who was able to kill a monster with 2 strikes, he called him a true master, inspiring Bai Yan. Bai Yan, admitting defeat, stated that their account was not closed, but left the exam. He warned that rumors that Lin Huang had stolen ZC from Gießen Castle had spread, and exam participants were already rushing here to get the drug. Lin Huang asked him to delay them to avoid chaos that would prevent everyone from obtaining the crystals. Bai Yan, believing it, rushed to intercept the crowd, assuring them that the castle was empty and that Lin Huang had escaped. Calling him a gifted hunter, he convinced the others to chase the thief. Lin Huang's plan worked. Bai Yan gave him time. Taking advantage of the moment, Lin Huang released a technical bug that was invisible to living organisms. The beetle entered the castle through the window, teleporting Lin Huang inside. Now it was necessary to destroy ZC so that the drug would not fall into the hands of the greedy. Lin Huang, having entered Gießen Castle with the help of a technical bug, confirmed his guess. ZC was produced here. The drugs were stored in a warehouse, and to destroy them it was necessary to blind the guards and attack. The gold hunters who watched the cameras were strong, but not very smart. Lin Huang decided to sneak up from behind. He attacked suddenly, and the guards gasped and raised the alarm, calling for backup. No one could keep up. Lin Huang called by, ordering the demon to start hunting. The guards, losing control, tried to fight back, but Lin Huang dealt with them with ease. One of them, surprised, asked if Lin Huang really only had one monster. In response, he released a second dragon, which crept up from behind and bit the enemy. At this moment, a stranger appeared in the crowd, an old man who laughed at how quickly Lin Huang had reached the warehouse. He declared that everything would end here. Lin Huang, who suspected the puppeteer's abilities, asked if this was true. The old man confirmed, adding that Lin Huang's monsters were powerless against his puppets. Even if Lin Huang survives, the higher-ups will send excellent warriors after him. Lin Huang, without flinching, offered the old man to play a game of puppeteers, showing him how to control someone else's mind. He released the ghost clown. The old man, shocked by the appearance of another monster, froze. The clown snapped his fingers, crept up, and entered the old man's body. He panicked, screaming that it was impossible, and lost control. Lin Huang took advantage of the moment and ordered Bai to burn the warehouse to the ground. The fire engulfed the ZC stockpile, destroying the drug. As the flames spread, Lin Huang prepared to escape, knowing that the alarm would attract more enemies, and the time to complete the exam task was running out. The adventurers, having reached Gisen Castle, saw it engulfed in flames and attacked Lin Huang, demanding that he hand over the ZC crystals. He, remaining calm, replied that he was only of bronze rank and could not have caused such chaos. When he arrived, the castle was already burning, and he had only managed to get one crystal. Advising them to hurry before everything burned down, he provoked the crowd to rush to the ruins. Xia Yu, calling him a scoundrel, tried to object, but Lin Huang stopped her, hinting that he knew about her own plans, forcing her to remain silent. The next day, at the Beishuan Hunters Association, examiner Zhuo Lin explained that the second stage tested information gathering and teamwork. Despite the unforeseen circumstances, 5,000 participants who mined crystals moved on. Xu Jinpeng warned that the third stage would be more difficult. In the evening, the aircraft would take them to the test site, and they needed to prepare. Nobody knew what was waiting because the second stage already seemed impossible. Zhuo Lin's stern yet friendly manner thought about the background of the test. The examiners, discussing the incident at the castle, noted that obtaining ZC was not the main goal, but rather gathering information. The castle was found to contain evidence of 3 crimes: infamy, arson, and suicide. The perpetrator wielded a blade, the element of fire, and illusion or mind control skills. One examiner suggested that it was the work of an exam participant, but another objected. A gold-rank corpse was found at the scene, which meant the killer was at least a 3rd-level gold. There aren't even any silvers among the participants, and the strongest summoned monster, a 3rd-level silver, is no threat to a gold hunter. The idea of a double-mutated monster was called a fantasy, but Lin Huang, who overheard, tensed up, knowing that his Bai and the ghost clown fit the description. The participants were transported to the 3rd stage by an aircraft piloted by Captain Fu, a high-ranking officer. The examiners treated him with respect, which impressed Lin Huang. While watching Mr. Fu, he noticed how he, while fishing, pulled out of the sea a strange object that did not look like a fish. Lin Huang's curiosity was aroused. What kind of artifact was this, and how was it related to the upcoming test? On board the ship, Lin Huang and Captain Fu sat by the soup pot, eating the fish they had caught and chatting. Fu noticed that the other participants were locked in their rooms training, while Lin Huang, the lazy youth, was enjoying the reward. Lin Huang, after praising the captain for the huge fish, remarked that the sword technique Fu used to cut it was of an epic level. Fu chuckled and recognized Lin Huang as a skilled swordsman since he saw through the technique. Lin Huang asked if Fu was the legendary gourmet hunter that Yin Han had spoken of. Fu did not answer, but his gaze hinted at the truth. After disembarking, Lin Huang said goodbye, hoping to meet the captain again. Outside, the second examiner, Zhuo Lin, announced the rules for the 3rd stage, calling it easy. Participants must pass through doors into corridors leading to 3 cages, in each a 3rd-level silver-ranked monster. Passing all means completing the trial. 3 equipment of no higher than bronze rank is allowed. The rescue team will help if they have time, but there is an hour for the test, and failure threatens expulsion. Participants began to drop out. Many died, especially at door 66. Everyone suspected that something was wrong with it. Lin closed door 66, asking him to choose another one, but Lin Huang raised his hand, declaring that he would enter that door, willing to risk his life for the sake of the test. Being 23rd in line, he didn't want to wait. The examiner, warning that confidence without talent is only arrogance, opened the door. Lin Huang entered and encountered the monster that had killed the previous participants. To his surprise, the monster spoke in human language. It was a phoenix feather, a rare mutant species capable of mimicking sounds and learning language within 3 months of interacting with humans. She playfully asked if he had come to play with his sister. Lin Huang, when confronted with Phoenix Feather, guessed that she, speaking in human language, had lived among humans for a long time, but her hatred was caused by the cruelty of her previous master. Phoenix, angry, called it nonsense. All people were vile and worthy of death, but her master was the best. He fed her fresh human meat, cared for her, and waited for her mutation. Good people like him are killed by insidious creatures like Lin Huang. He asked if her master was a tamer of the Black Blood, an evil sect that uses slaves to mutate monsters. The world government and the Hunters Association exterminated such cultists, and its owner deserved to die. Phoenix Feather, in a rage, promised to tear Lin Huang apart, addressing her dead master and calling his blood an offering. Lin Huang, without flinching, offered to send her to her master, showing what a real tamer should be like. He activated the card and summoned Tyrant, a double-mutated monster. Phoenix, in horror, did not understand how Lin Huang came to have such a beast. The tyrant approached and bit her neck. Lin Huang coldly remarked that the strength she gained from the dirty blood did not save her. A notification alerted the adventurers. The first monster at door 66 was dead. The cage could be replaced. Everyone gasped, and the examiner, impressed, noted the potential of Lin Huang, who defeated a third-level silver-ranked mutated monster. Xiao He, worried, warned that Lin Huang's victories might reveal the disparity between his rank and strength. Phoenix Feather, a twice-mutated silver-ranked monster, wouldn't have been able to cope without Tyrant Lin Huang. If the association or the systems notice his true power, breaking the rules will result in disqualification. Lin Huang, irritated, told Xiao He not to scold him before the fight. Taking out his gun, he decided to hide his power by using Traceless Step. Ahead lay a giant monkey monster with enormous strength but a weak head, a vulnerable spot. Xiao He noticed that it was impossible to kill him like that. Lin Huang smirked. Who said he was going to kill? According to the rules, you only need to pass the corridor, not destroy the monsters. Using Traceless Step, Lin Huang bypassed the monkey, moving forward. The examiner, watching, sighed heavily, realizing that this young man was playing by his own rules, combining cunning and strength. Lin Huang, confident in the plan, moved towards the next cage, but the association's shadow of suspicion was already hanging over him. Lin Huang, having passed the second cage, admired the scale of the Hunter Association exam. In front of him in the third cage stood Silver Scale, a rare monster with incredible defense that even gold hunters had difficulty breaking through. Despite her weak speed and combat skills, Lin Huang was not afraid. He decided to repeat the trick with Traceless Step, but Scale, as if having predicted it, curled up into a ball. Lin Huang suspected that she knew about his trick and would not let herself be deceived. Teasing the monster, he noted that her defense was cunning, but every stone had a weakness. Using the boundless sight, Lin Huang noticed a tiny gap between the tail and the body in the defensive form, a vulnerable spot that was invisible to the naked eye. Striking his sword right into the gap, he forced Scales to remove his protection and walked on. When explaining to Xiao He, he clarified that the gap was a sensitive point, and his skill allowed him to detect it. The notice announced that Lin Huang had passed door 66, completing the third round. Everyone gasped, and the examiner, impressed by the knowledge of the monster's weaknesses, decided to recommend the young man to the management. Meanwhile, the Hunters Association of the 7th Division was discussing Lin Huang, who was recommended from Blanket Island. One of the council members, who admired his twice-mutated monster at bronze rank, saw potential in him, but another objected. His giant monster, although twice mutated, has low intelligence and is difficult to advance. Chairman Shu Tianyu agreed. Giants were not suitable for taming, and Lin Huang had not shown any other outstanding qualities. If he had a mind-controlled monster like the Dashi incident, he would have been accepted without question. Cold-bloodedness and knowledge of monster weaknesses are the usual skills of a gifted hunter, but not enough to be recommended. The association refused intensive training. After the exam, a girl approached Lin Huang, congratulated him on passing, and presented him with an imperial ring. When asked about the fourth stage, she explained that it would take place here, but due to the 50-hour third stage, the exact time is unknown, at least a 2-day wait. Lin Huang asked where he could stay on the island. The girl apologized and explained that this was a level 4 wilderness area, Little Devil Island, with no service points. Participants had to take care of themselves. Lin Huang, surprised, realized that he was on Devil's Island, and 2 days of survival in the wild zone would be another test before the fourth stage. Lin Huang learned that Little Devil Island was a 4th-level wild zone full of demons, undead, and spiritual monsters. There are no hotels, roads, or transport, making the place one of the most difficult to reach. At first, Lin Huang was nervous, but then he realized that the exam gave him a unique chance to get here. Back at the bronze rank, he chose to promote the Silver Blade Demon, which only lives on this island. His target, the ability Circle of Senses, creates a field of perception where any movement is instantly noticed. At the superiority level, it evolves into the secret skill Total Domination, allowing you to control the territory and hit enemies at any point. This is a powerful attack skill, perfect for Lin Huang. He suddenly heard a rustling sound and took out his gun, ordering the intruder to show himself. You, a friend from the exam, emerged from the darkness. Lin Huang, recognizing her strength, she was the first to pass through 3 cells with monsters, asked why she was chasing him. Xiaoyu smiled and said that she was bored and offered to keep him company for 2 days, adding that she liked him the most among all the participants. Lin Huang coldly refused, not wanting to deal with arrogant people, and flew away on the little dragon. Xiaoyu, in a rage, hit the tree, knocking it down. Explaining to Xiao He, Lin Huang admitted that he couldn't stand arrogant people, but he didn't want to kill them, and hiding was tiring. As he delved deeper into the island, he noticed more and more Silver Blade demons in the pitch darkness. His goal is not to kill everyone, but to find the mutated one-eyed demon whose life seed is needed for the Circle of Feelings. Jumping from the tree, he approached the flock. But Xiao He shouted in panic that Lin Huang had forgotten about the one-eyed demon's telepathy. The mutated monster could summon hundreds of creatures. Lin Huang, surrounded by the demons who had attacked him, realized that the only option left was brute force. After releasing the tyrant, he ordered that the path be cleared and the largest demons dealt with, but did not give clear instructions, fearing that the tyrant would accidentally kill the one-eyed man. Losing the Seed of Life would ruin the plan. The tyrant rushed into battle, scattering enemies, and Lin Huang, clutching his sword, searched for his target in the chaos, knowing that the demon's telepathy could summon a new wave at any moment. Time was running out, and the island's darkness hid both threats and prey. Lin Huang, fearing that the tyrant would kill the one-eyed Silver Blade demon and the life seed would be wasted, was shocked when the giant monster, despite its limited intelligence, simply grabbed the target without killing it. Xiao He, puzzled, noted that mutations have little effect on the giant's minds, and even superior ones rely on instinct. How did the tyrant become so smart? Lin Huang, without getting into an argument, ordered the demon to be held tightly. Taking out his sword, he struck the monster in its vulnerable spot, the eye. The blood gushed and the transition to the silver rank began. The process was completed successfully. Lin Huang obtained the life seed card Circle of Feelings and the rare monster card One-Eyed Sword Demon. Looking at the trophies, Lin Huang realized that the 3 demon skills were useless to him now. But with 2 promotion cards, he could upgrade them to epic rarity. Xiao He advised not to rush, there were problems ahead. The Circle of Senses worked, revealing Xiaoyu, who was confident that Lin Huang would not notice her at a distance of 200 meters. Coming up, he coldly asked if he had not made himself clear when he demanded that the pursuit be stopped. Xiaoyu denied it, saying that she heard a roar and came to see. Surprised by his quick rise to silver rank and ability to find her, she called him strong, noting that few tamers choose the Hunters Association, hinting at other paths. Lin Huang took out his sword and asked what organization she was from. Her interest in him is not related to the exam. She is recruiting people. Let him name his group. Xiaoyu evasively insisted that she came to become a hunter. Lin Huang, losing his patience, warned that he didn't care about the rules, and if she came close again, he would kill her with his own hands. Xia Yu, taken aback by his threat, acknowledged his seriousness. After saying that the games were over, she hinted at the real deal and disappeared, leaving Lin Huang wary. Lin Huang enjoyed the process of hunting silver-ranked monsters on Devil Island. Xiao He noticed that in 2 days, the 4 wheels of life were filled, and it was time to return to the camp. The 4th stage of the exam would begin soon. Lin Huang's main life wheel only filled 200 sections, minimizing the risk of sudden baptism when meeting the golden monster. He could summon 4 monsters at once. Tyrant, Ghost Clown, and other epic cards had reached the 3rd level of gold rank, except for Demonic Vine, which was stuck at the 3rd level of silver, perhaps due to the peculiarity of the mutation. Lin Huang decided to figure out how to advance it later, and not to forget about the one-eyed sword demon. 500 out of 5,541 participants passed the 3rd stage. The selection process by the Hunters Association was tough. A 4-winged condor appeared in the camp, from which Mulan, the 4th stage examiner and 4th in the 7th Division Gold Hunter ranking, descended. She ordered everyone to be silent and announced the rules. On Devil's Island, a level 4 zone with demons, undead, and spiritual monsters, the participants must kill 5 different silver-ranked monsters in 15 days and bring back their carcasses. In the center of the island live golden monsters that are best avoided. Lin Huang asked if it was okay to steal carcasses killed by others. Mulan allowed it, but killing the participants is punishable by a blacklist. The adventurers, hearing Lin Huang's question, began to fear him, avoiding him whenever they met. He reassured them by saying that he was not going to rob them, but was offering to buy the carcasses of the monsters he had killed over the past 2 days. The prices were favorable: 3 life crystals for a 1st-level monster, 6 for a 2nd, 9 for a 3rd. Considering the mutated species and the danger of the island, he offered 5 level 1 carcasses for 15 crystals. The participants, impressed, bought his loot, thanking him for the deal. The adventurers decided to rest for a few days before handing over the carcasses to Mulan, feeling that the 4th stage was already in the bag. But the peace was interrupted by a man who burst into his tent, shouting that he was tired of putting up with petty idiots. He noticed a familiar tattoo on his neck, a symbol that caused alarm. This could be a sign of the Black Blood or another dangerous organization, and the intentions of the intruder clearly did not bode well. He woke up in a cage with his friends, who panicked and told him they had been kidnapped by an heretic, a cult member with a tattoo on his neck. They were afraid that they would be taken from the island or killed if their disappearance was not noticed. Lin Huang continued to hunt silver-rank monsters in the center of the island, where the most valuable specimens were found. Demand for mascara grew, and he stocked up on the product. Suddenly, his fight was interrupted by the same heretic, who attacked with a stealth technique. Lin Huang took out his pistol, broke through his defense, and drove him away. After confessing to Xiao He, Lin Huang said that he had noticed the enemy a long time ago. He accused the heretic of belonging to a sect, pointing to an open tattoo. Only a fool would not hide it. Heretic, praising Lin Huang for his success in the exam and his intelligence, offered to join their organization, which needed such hunters. Lin Huang refused, condemning the kidnappings. Heretic, surrounded by a gold-ranked aura, mockingly asked if he thought he had a choice. Lin Huang, who recently killed 3 opponents, hinted at his willingness to add to the list. The enraged heretic attacked, but the tyrant, a huge orc, fought him off, leaving him alive on Lin Huang's orders. Approaching the fallen man, Lin Huang noticed that the heretic was not the only one in the exam. He, refusing to speak, offered to kill himself, but Lin Huang summoned the Ghost Clown, a superior monster from Daxi. Under hypnosis, the heretic revealed the plans. The sect captured 63 of the 180 places in the 7th Division, introducing their people into the camps, masking the tattoos. Their goal is to kidnap the best members and force them to join. Heretics on the island, 1 Sacred Flame superior level and 10 3rd-level gold rank. The abducted are kept in a dark dungeon, a disposable relic that imitates a 5-star one. It captures the unconscious but is destroyed when extracted. To open it, you need to direct the life force into the spiral pattern 3 times. Lin Huang asked how the heretics would leave the island and where their base was. Heretic began to answer, but died before finishing. Lin Huang, realizing the scale of the threat, knew that he had to free his friends and stop the sect before they escaped through the portals. Mulan, after listening to Lin Huang, reminded him that killing the participants was prohibited. He explained that the person killed was an heretic spy. 1 Sacred Flame Superior and 10 third-level golds had infiltrated the exam, capturing 63 of the 180 examination points in the 7th Division. By showing the dark pseudo-dungeon, he confirmed that it belonged to the sect. Everyone was shocked. How did the heretics bypass the association's thorough checks? Mulan, deciding to test Lin Huang's words, released the prisoners. They confirmed that the heretics attacked the participants without raising suspicion. After being convinced, Mulan ordered that the freed people be taken to rest and a report be made. After asking Lin Huang's name, she learned that he had not found out the gathering place of the heretics, but their leader could speed up the departure after discovering the death of a member. We need to report to the authorities immediately to send a superior warrior. They have 2 hours until the leader escapes through disposable portals. Lin Huang suggested tracking the heretics along the ring of the deceased empire and asked if he could fight the gold ones. Confident that opponents below the superior level were no problem, he received Mulan's approval. She told us to be careful when meeting the superior, to run away without engaging in battle. Lin Huang, flying away on the dragon, soon spotted a gold-ranked woman. Sneaking up, he declared that she had been caught. She mockingly asked if he had served himself up on a silver platter. Lin Huang, noticing that he did not hit women, suggested that she surrender. She called out to the sisters, but Lin Huang called out to the tyrant. The woman, realizing that she was facing a twice-mutated monster, fought back, but was unable to withstand its power and died. Lin Huang ordered the tyrant to break her imperial ring. The system congratulated him. He received a rare card, 100 Blade Stream. Having eliminated 1 target, he continued hunting. Mulan reported over the radio that she had killed several heretics, but had not found the leader. She suggested returning to the camp where it was safe. Even the examiner could not track down the sect leader. Lin Huang, wondering where the leader was hiding, suddenly noticed Xia Yu behind him. Asking irritably how long she would pursue him, he heard that she would stop when he joined her organization. Stunned, Lin Huang asked if she was the leader of the heretics. Xia Yu smiled and admitted that it was true.